time. Oh wait, it says it's live. What is this?
It's live right now.
This is where the party. This is where the party is at. Featuring people like Joe, Mike, and Justin, and Keith, and the Llama, and NakedRon.com.
Can you hear me?
Woo! Oh, I can hear you.
Okay, I had to wear my giant Corsairs with my.
It sounds like he's. It sounds
He's in
like
a tunnel.
you're in a tunnel. It doesn't sound like your mic's on.
It's on. It just
sounds like your webcam mic is on.
These mics aren't very fun. I bought I didn't buy.
Mic. Hold on.
I installed.
Internal mic. I thought so.
Is that better?
A little bit better. It's not as windy.
I don't hear as much of the other stuff.
Whatever. Enough.
We've got Keith in chat and Chris Travis in chat, and I think I sent Chris Travis a link. I think I did.
Randy Travis's brother?
Yeah, I did send Chris Travis a link. We'll do kind of like an homage to the Saturday Night Maker stream. We'll just pop people in and out all day.
Yeah, why isn't Butreon.com freaking doing his tonight?
He's fixing plumbing at the house. He said that in the shenanigans chat.
He's got a kitchen sink that is busted.
Yeah.
And his wife is making him cook 3 meals tomorrow.
Well, I'm cooking
the first
meals.
layer just went live. The weekend.
What? Who went live?
The first layer. They always go live right at the same time Butreon.com does.
Oh, I don't even know what the first layer is.
Oh, first layer. That's with two guys out in Calgary, Alberta. That is Richard Cleveland and Brian Baker usually.
Oh, I've never heard of those names before, but I'm not very well versed in all the names.
They're Canadians, man.
I'm wondering if I should move my camera since I'm always looking at this daggum screen.
They're
good people, trust me.
They're good people. They're just too Ender-centric for me. Everything is Ender.
Oh, you should
I'm all
see the Enders I deal with right now.
You want to talk Ender-centric, you talk to Chap. He is super Ender-centric.
Oh, yeah. Chuck is like the master of Enders.
Yeah, Chuck's a little too Ender-centric, too.
Well, it's probably the best market to be in if you want a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
correct.
Followers.
And that's the only reason why Chuck is Ender-centric. He told me that at Murph. He was like, it's not the best printers out there, but there's so many people out there that have these printers that you got to find your demographic, find your niche, and then stick in it.
Yeah.
I just print mini veteran Chris's of myself. That's my shtick.
Nice.
Maybe that new quote unquote crowdfunded printer will be the new one.
Yeah.
CR6 SE, yeah.
The one that's already in beta testers' hands?
Yeah.
The one that's already in Joel Telling's hands?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, how the hell did Joel Telling get it?
Because he's Joel Telling. I mean, Joel gets pretty much everything.
But it's crowdsourced.
They went to influencers, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Only one, though.
Yeah.
No, it went to Naomi and Chuck and Joel and somebody else. There was 4 people on the beta
Chuck
test
got
list.
one?
Angus said no.
Angus, I don't think got one, did he?
Angus got one, too.
Angus didn't get one. He said no. He flat out said that in his live stream the other day. He didn't want one.
Did you see that Tom bashed the new FormBot?
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
I saw one for sale today. I saw a FormBot for sale for $500 today.
This was the FormBot. Oh gosh, what's the new model? But he's like, no one should buy it at all.
This one's a FormBot Raptor 1.0. They want $500.
Yeah, this might be the newer Raptor.
Let's see here. I hate the FormBot. What, the T-Rex 3 Plus?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. It looks like just another Ender / Prusa.
It's 700 millimeters tall, bro, with IDEX.
Wow. I know someone building a quad IDEX system.
Isn't that E2D full changer?
No, custom build, custom welded frame, custom everything, duet board.
Let's see.
Just
the Raptor 2. This huge 3D printer was fun, but absolutely no one should buy
it. You guys have seen the Stacker, right?
Oh gosh, I love Stackers. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the Stacker 3D, dude. That is a pimp printer. Like,
that thing's got 4 print heads.
Yeah, they're not independent, but it is the. But I mean, it comes at $30,000. It's 610 by 610 by 610.
Well, Jerry's got a ton of them. Not Jerry Berg, but like Jerry with Spectra.
Well, this is the industrial one. The
Oh,
industrial one is 600 square or cubed, all closed loop steppers, 4 print heads for 4 times IDEX, 4 extruders, 4 custom hot ends, all high win, linear motion. Yeah, includes a 2-year warranty, made completely in America. But the normal stacker,
Who is JMT?
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at.
You don't need to know.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it.
It can do multi-material and multicolor, so but it can do 4 times IDEX at the same time. So
Can you
4
imagine
prints.
leveling all those nozzles?
It's actually really easy on that printer because it's just they've got like a pinion that you can just quickly like start screwing and it just moves it up and down until it's set.
Ow.
They did a really good job on that printer. It prints really well. Like,
well, Jerry, it's Lepore. His last name's Lepore. Jerry Lepore. He uses his stackers for investment casting.
yeah, I could see that because those things are industrial printers.
Those would be really good for everything we're printing right now. All
4 headbands at one time.
Yeah, so speaking of COVID, I'm part of a conglomerate of makers in Colorado. We have over 300 makers, and we're printing. We've done 25,000 headbands in a month.
Do you guys need more?
Yes, we always need more.
What model are you printing?
We're using the Prusa model, but we've modified it for the requests.
Breathe it in there, Mike.
Okay, so what?
Oh, JMT. Mic too close.
Huh?
It's probably
JMT.
JMT.
Mic too close, and you're like breathing in it, and all we can hear is.
Star Wars.
Is that me?
Yep, that was you.
That's you.
Okay,
Yeah, this is the stacker.
I hate this headset.
Yeah, you have to keep the headphone below your lips. That's usually, or the microphone below your lips. That's usually
below the lips.
Yeah,
it doesn't really go below my lips.
That sounds much better.
Well, then
this sounds better.
Yes, much clearer.
What if I exhale?
That's better. You can't even hear it. It just sounds like you're blowing.
Well, son of a bitch.
It
Okay.
sounds normal.
Yeah.
That's how much I wear gaming headsets, y'all.
Yeah. So yeah, look at it. These are like all custom made extruders.
God, no wonder it's 20, 30 grand.
Well, this one's 11. This is their normal size one. This is I think 400.
That's their economy printer.
Yeah. Which that's it.
I mean, it's fully sourced in America. Like it's this is the heat block. Look how ginormous it is. It's all custom made.
Jeez.
They machine all these parts, dual drive that they custom make.
The downside is it's all proprietary. So if you break something, you have to.
Well, the parts are cheap.
And their support is out of this world as well.
Yeah, so let's see here.
It's an entire ecosystem. So you know how like Ultimaker has their ecosystem, Stacker has their ecosystem.
Yeah. Their print quality is actually good though.
That is actually Jerry's. That's Jerry's prints.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does. That he does the investment casting for pumps.
Nice.
So I was talking about the COVID thing. We're a thing called makeforcovid.co, completely volunteer.
Right there. That was Jerry's.
We've done tons of headbands. I actually run a nightly Zoom meeting that's open for the makers that need help. They just come in, they get the help they need, and we went from a 60% positive throughput at our warehouse to 95 in less than a month.
Jeez.
Yeah,
that's thanks to that Zoom being able to help people.
We had we were doing the Prusa model for our phase 1, and we did 3,000 headbands in the Prusa, and we iterated throughout. So we started with like the RC2, and then we ended up with this hacked version. Nozzle. Yeah, it's a nice nozzle. We ended up with this hacked version that was what we called the Prusa Quick Print, and it was really thin to print, but the part that butt up against the forehead was the same thickness, so it was still comfortable to wear. And it also just had hooks on the back for the elastic instead of the weird, things that Prusa initially had. But then we went over to the Verk, and we were able to print 7,000 Verk headbands with our maker force in 1 week.
The downside for us is we're having laser shields cut for the Prusa holes, and we've had
well, we have some Prusas left because that's what made us initially search for the switch, was because we were running out of PETG sheet to do the Prujas with, so we had to go to something that could be easily sourced. So we got a bunch of transparencies that we could hole punch and went to the vert model.
I actually got some of our shields, and we're actually working on a visor, a custom designed visor, because the cap that Prusa did is not isn't one of the best I've seen, but it's pretty good.
What thickness are you using?
0.3.
0.3, yeah. So this, son of a, this is 0.3, but for a while there we got kind of crazy and we went 0.4, and this thing is like,
Yeah, I'm trying to share some files between my computers, and I'll share my screen and show you guys what we adjusted, because maybe you'll want to see it. Let me find it.
He's like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but Japanese.
Japanese?
Yeah, he's a Japanese mutant turtle.
I eat enough.
Speaking of turtles, let's see.
Do we need to talk about their genitalia tonight? And their sexual habits?
Printed the low poly Raphael.
That's pretty cool.
So the runoff
PLA, industrial runoff PLA from Jesse.
Okay.
Not bad.
There are no supports.
And also, Butreon.com is here.
Butron.com?
Butreon.
Butron.com?
Made it.
Nice.
Yeah, he says made it. What happened there at the edge right there?
Oh, it's actually not flat. So it printed in midair over here. I didn't check the base to see if it was flat. So this part printed great. This part was another layer. So that was a layer above. Actually, it was a bunch of layers above. And somehow it printed it just fine. Like each one of those, like 4 layers of that's a different layer.
Weird.
Also printed the Flash.
Nice.
In printed solids, red ice.
I love their filament. It's so good.
Yeah, Dave is a little anal in normal life. I can't even imagine what he's like on his extrusion line.
If you'll allow me, Chris, I'm going to share my screen and show you what we changed.
Do it.
Like that.
Do it.
Let's see. Application window. Here we go.
Keith, did you ever find those instructions?
So what we did.
No.
We realized that the doctors and nurses are wearing these upside down, at least the way we cut them.
Yeah.
So we flipped and made the PET G stick out, because I've seen a lot of issues where having it in actually causes more layer problems. Beveled the bottom, same thing over here. And then here we're almost to approval on these visors. They just hook on. They're lightweight, about 40 grams.
Just hit on the little nubs.
Exactly, and they keep the shield in place. That way you're not doing it, not having them fall off.
Oh, nice.
We also, you always want the PET G, because you're cleaning in the same materials. But that's that's where we're at. We're working on ventilator projects and non-contact thermometers and just this massive amount of stuff.
I've got a non-contact thermometer in my drawer.
Yeah, I've got my little $20 one over here.
Oh yeah, that one doesn't work very well on us, Chris.
My heat bed is 60C.
Yeah, this one's off about 10C. $20. I can't.
Let's see. I am 92 degrees.
your external temp is being cooled, so hopefully it's not actually 98 degrees on the outside of your head.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. These don't work for that.
Mine says 35C. Let me hit the F button. 96 degrees. So.
Well, mine's 73.
F button.
Right.
F for fail.
Right.
Yeah.
F
for freedom units.
Right.
Freedom units.
Walk around just.
Have you ever read how Fahrenheit came into existence?
Some dumbass was like, "This is going to be freezing."
Right.
And
he did it off of 98.9 or 98.6. He did it off of his temperature, and then he deviated from that up to boiling and then down to freezing. So it all came off of, it was generated off of the human temperature. That's where it started. No one said, oh, let's start it with water boiling, or let's start it with water freezing. It was, no, I'm going to start it where the human body is, and then I'm just going to adjust from there. And the human body is just, let's give it a random number of 98.6.
Well, it looks like we lost our leader.
Uh-oh.
So we got another Chris from another basement.
Chris in the other basin. Welcome, Chris.
As long as there's one Chris, we're fine.
Yes.
That's how this works.
Yes.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Yeah, we're doing okay. I guess he wants me to host.
I'm about to slap
Here's-
another SKR on this baby. Or this is my third SKR.
Oh my god. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. This morning, I think you had SKR 1.3 and you're saying go SKR 1.4, I think.
I got nothing but SKR 1.4s.
Yeah. I'm just scared of them.
You
They're
shouldn't
nice
be.
upgrades.
You shouldn't be. They're worth it.
They're
Well, I have
very
the
great.
BT002 board, but I put it in and Keith knows this because I've tweeted it with him, but had issues with the firmware, getting everything to work right. Once we're out of this, out of my production period for the next few months, then I'm going to go back at it because I really can't afford to have printers down.
Yeah, I just submit, or we'll be submitting another PR to update the README with some more instructions, but the firmware should be good to go because I'm running it on mine.
Yeah, I just have to. I don't want to take a printer down for 34 hours to swap out a board.
Sure.
So Keith, the firmware actually flashing it the hard way with an ST link.
Mm-hmm.
Is that just a UART cable?
It's a little device, and I think it has its own processor and everything.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I've got a USB it's a UART, so it's basically USB to either 4 or 5 DuPont.
No, you need a little ST link. They're like a couple bucks.
The cool thing about the group that I'm part of, I got this printer, this Raise N2 Plus dual for free.
Okay, who did we just lose? Oh, we lost Llama.
No, we lost Llama.
But we got the
Scolded Princess.
So you actually made the crown finally. Congratulations.
You missed it on the last stream.
I wasn't here for the last stream.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Well, there's the software. Where's the freaking...
No, Dave, he's just sitting in the background. He's going to kick me off in a few seconds to prove he's still here.
Looks like everyone just wants to be in the inaugural stream.
Everybody is here because they need this. We do not have a makers. The Sunday night makers is not
Saturday
happening.
night makers.
So
You should see the live Zoom I do. Not live Zoom, the Zoom I do. We get 10, 20 people in there at like midnight on Saturdays.
I'd love to have Zoom available if it was free.
Keith,
I did
private
midnight
chat.
pedagogy the other night. There was like
Come
30
join it
people
for
in
free.
there.
You can come join it for free.
Well, no, I meant to have it for, to have.
Yeah.
There goes my printer again. I'll be back.
I love those days.
Justin.
Yeah.
Hey, you put that print back up, that big giant.
Yeah.
one.
This I printed on the Raise after I decided to print something large. It's a trash can.
Wow. That's all one piece?
One piece, 0.6 nozzle, 0.8 extrusion width. Guess how long this took?
About an hour and a half.
No, about 10.
Oh, I was assuming it was in vase mode.
Yeah, full vase mode.
Ooh.
It's just a trash can.
Yeah.
But you
I'm
get a free
babysitting
printer,
an N2 Plus right now.
Yeah, you and I are gonna have to chat. I've gone Bond Tech. I got it for free, so I had to fight it to get to work.
Oh, no, it belongs to my dad, but my dad's also a teacher, and we can't go back to school, so we brought the toys home.
Nice. Yeah, I've never had I never thought I'd have a printer this size. I'm not exactly sure what to do with it besides just print on these, on the PPE.
Mm-hmm.
I just printed ABS on it, and it looks just very nice.
David Randolph in the house.
Wow.
Ooh.
I struggled to fill up my Tornado. I can't imagine one of those.
Yeah, it's the filament usage. Luckily,
That too.
The only giant thing I've printed on the Raise is this 11-inch tall Wally.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm still not done painting him, but he could have gone bigger. The machine was bigger, but I didn't want to deal with running out of filament, and so I sliced it to be exactly like 9.998 kilos of filament.
perfect.
Oh, yeah. I see. Okay, yeah. Keith, does this go into EXP3?
No.
I didn't realize
there's a dedicated header for it.
There is.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Scolded Princess. Question on the raid. Have you tried updating to the new Marlin? I know there's some.
We have not.
Somewhere. I'm tempted, but I'm scared of it because I don't want to break my.
So my dad is not a tinkerer or a I want to fiddle with things type of person. He's I bought a $6,000 printer because I want my $6,000 printer to work and I want it to work well. I don't want to futz with it. And I asked my dad, I was like, hey, can I fuck with the firmware? And he's like, no, absolutely not.
Well, I mean, I'm scared to mess with it. I would go up to 1.16, but I'd love to throw some auto bed leveling on this thing.
Yeah, I'd love to put like a Pinda probe on it and see what it can do.
Yeah.
So why don't you just buy one?
Buy a $6,000 printer?
No, buy the printer probe.
Because the firmware has to support it.
And I've been expressly forbidden from messing with the firmware.
Oh, boo.
I'll give you that one.
You just do it and don't say anything.
Just do it until he yells at her and is like, what the heck did you do to my thing?
Yeah, honestly, they always say it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, right?
I'm aware. That's how I typically go. But I'm also just kind of busy, and messing with Ray's firmware is not really something I'm into. I really hate working with firmware.
I think you need to just experiment more.
Yes. What?
I say just build yourself a printer.
Firmware is easy. I have tutorials on YouTube.
Yes, I've seen your toils. You are the firmware master.
Even if he is not.
Firmware master.
No, that's Chris Riley. Wrong Chris.
Yeah, Chris Riley.
I need to go log into HBO Go.
It's crazy.
What we need to do is we need to get Chris Riley, Vert, and Brian Baker all together in one room and just have them build firmware. They could make one hell of a kick-ass firmware.
For every printer.
For every printer in the world, yep. And
Get
they'll all be running Marlin.
Get Scott in there too, and then you'll have some real power.
Yeah.
I actually built the.
Keith wants help too.
I actually had a friend build the.
I think Keith might be a good resource for this firmware. I think Keith might be a good just throwing that out there.
I'm a Marlin config collector, and contributed many configs to Marlin.
Yeah, we need much flatter beds.
There he is.
Hey, Dave's in.
He's not in the factory.
There's all the troublemakers.
You are awesome.
Yeah, we're just talking about how we love your filament.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love your filament and your products.
I'm sitting here loading my cart for the next purchase in like a week.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here's my E3D hot end I just bought, replacing one. So from you.
And you know the one, the E3D hot end I bought from 2018 is finally working on the CR10.
Yes.
My CR10 just doesn't like me.
Right.
Finally start working.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can share some profiles. I mostly have S3D profiles, but if you shoot me a message, I can get you some profiles.
Mr. Randolph, I might have gotten someone converted over to Jesse PLA, so I'm hoping that a close friend of mine who's into printing will be purchasing some from you, and you'll be sending it to another lovely town within the fine state of Illinois.
Nice. Yeah, I actually took the day off to not make filament so I could actually go run the lasers and make some face shields.
Nice.
I
don't blame you. Sometimes you got to step away.
Yeah, I just have to step into the other building that's 50 foot away. That really changes the scenery for me.
Yes.
From one gray building to another gray building.
Yeah. Kyle, just find me on Twitter with the J1999T, and I'll get you some profiles. Anyway, it all quiets down. Dave just shows up, and all quiets down.
Yes.
They're waiting for me to talk, and I'm waiting for you guys to talk.
We want to hear words of wisdom from Dave.
Oh, dear God.
What fun stories can Dave tell us today?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Dave.
As of Friday, I hired someone finally to come in and start learning how to run the line.
Nice.
When are you going to start carrying my shirt, Dave?
Yeah.
As soon as you send me some to sell.
It glows in the dark.
Oh, I'll buy one.
See, there you go.
I'll buy that for $1.
Yep.
A Canadian dollar. I'm going to need like 1,000 of those.
Canadian dollars, yes.
Sorry, you left me an opening. I could use a RoboCop line. I had to do it.
Well, during my Joe stream, whenever you answer the questions for the lightning round, you're supposed to win a T-shirt, and I forgot to do that today. So it's like, Joe, I need to send you a T-shirt.
I watched that while I was at work. That was a very nice lightning round.
I like how you managed to have a conversation with Joe, talk about the filament life, and still bring up Mr. Randolph in that whole conversation.
Oh, yeah.
That was a nice way to slide him in there.
Yeah.
I slid as much stuff in there as I could with keeping it as professional as possible.
Oh, of course.
Right.
That's kind of
Because
scary. Devin
involving
said
me
you'll
is
wear that
not
to school.
professional.
This is an amazing shirt to wear to school because it has my face on it.
Yeah. Yes, zombie Chris or not, it's still Chris.
Right.
Oh, wait, there's 2 Chris's in here. Hold on. Oh, wait, no. There we go. We haven't had llama in a while.
Yes.
Dropping llamas.
I don't think it's going to
eating
scare the
stuff.
Devin. I don't think it's going to scare your kids. If you're not afraid and you're younger than your kids. So.
Oh man, we're picking on Devin too much.
Oh, Devin.
More musical chairs.
She kind of set herself up for this. She knows what she's been
Shut
there.
up. You know, I swear I'm giving you the finger.
Why did you break your hand?
Not one finger, but 2 of them.
That's a double STFU.
What did you do to your finger?
I broke them.
Was this did you break
Did
them
you
while
meet
you were
your
trying to
boyfriend
film?
and already break your fingers?
I punched a wall.
So he made
Oh.
you
You
mad,
punch a wall.
and you hit the wall instead of him?
No, I was really pissed off and a little drunk, and someone decided to rub something in, and I got mad and accidentally punched a wall.
Ron,
No one
look what you
accidentally
did.
punches a wall. It's either in front of you or it's not. It's like, oh, I
Made
don't
out
know.
of a brick.
That's not a wall anyone normally punches unless you're Goldberg or a football player.
I was upset and I was drunk, and then someone called me who is gaining from my loss and to rub it in and ask for help with their
Well,
thing. And
Give me
I
their
got pissed
address
off.
and we'll go kick their ass.
You want to come to Texas?
Not like I got much else going.
Yeah, I thought I just jammed it, and then my mom called the primary care doctor, and it's like, come in, it's pretty empty, I'll x-ray it, and x-rayed it, and I broke 2 fingers.
Yeah. I used to do that when I was a kid. Yeah.
So I promise I'm flipping you off, but it doesn't hurt that bad. It's just it's so annoying that it slows down my typing.
You can't click like this. We men have learned how to click like this really well.
I don't click with my right hand. I click with my left hand. I'm a lefty.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
That's good then.
Yeah, you missed
Yeah.
Joe.
I'm so confused.
Went right over your head.
I'm so
In the
confused.
meanwhile, just do the 3 fingers and say read between the lines.
There you go.
That would
Okay.
get you by.
I can't do that. I got one of those pinkies that doesn't move by itself. Like I always have to take that finger.
Oh yeah.
So,
You can't
Mama,
do
why
that?
are you twirling a pie in your hand?
I have to hold mine
It was
down.
right in front of me, and I'm a twiddler, kind
That's
of.
like,
No.
well, why do I have this in my hand, Ron?
Spider-Man.
It's the other
No,
part of
man.
the case for that processor box,
There you go.
control box, and
Just
it's got a
put your-
file on the
Just
side.
put your thumb behind your knuckle.
Oh,
and-
it's Jesse PLA.
See?
Speaking of Jesse Dave, I'm working on a project, and blue ice is like my favorite color filament right now. Can you make it in Petchy?
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. She wants free stuff.
Purple
No,
ice.
I'll buy it.
She wants
Can
you
you
to
make
make
it
it
in
in Pet
Petchy?
G.
Purple
I have
ice.
to get some time to start playing with some Pet G. I have some to play with. I just haven't perfected it yet.
Purple ice is sexy too, but
I'm
blue
pretty
ice
sure
is my
that
favorite.
I'm pretty sure that little Miss Devon there is more than happy to be a tester for you. If you need a beta,
I
test,
would very much.
send it on down. I'm sure she'll take a roll or 2 and try them out for you.
Also correct. I will more than happily give you the money, but I'll also take it for free. I will not complain.
Hey, she wants to treat this like Creality does. Just pay to beta test, right?
Yeah, just do a Kickstarter, Dave.
Hey,
There you
however,
go.
I will say,
I'd be
Dave,
more willing to back Printed Solid, a small business, than Creality, some jumbo Chinese place over there.
they don't have lots of money. I mean, they might have lots
I'm back.
of money.
Dave, what happened to your beard?
I shaved it off for Corona.
Ah, another victim of Corona.
I mean, look at my hair.
I
All
seriously,
screwed up
as soon as you came into the stream, I was like yelling at you. I was like, "What happened to your beard? What happened to your beard?" And then I realized I was in the green room. And I was like, "Why aren't you answering me?"
Watch it.
About
If he hates us, he throws us in the green
I
room.
shaved it off for like a weekend, but now it's been like 2 months straight.
Uh-oh, Dan's gone.
Shave the under the nose. It's been so long.
Yeah, what I really don't like about having the hair right here on the lip, the mustache hair, is when I get it and like nose hair confused. Because I sometimes pick my nose hairs when I'm bored. So.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Okay then. Little too much sharing.
I don't know. I mean, I think proper amount of sharing. I think the duck stuff was too much sharing. But
Duck stuff.
Wait, were you not here for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Chris,
I was eating.
Ron being in charge is not the best idea. He looks way too overeager.
You're letting the Canadian take over? That's not a good idea.
Hey?
I'll be thrown in the green room soon. Don't worry.
You're letting the Canadian take over? I'm sorry.
We've been invaded.
Oh, thanks.
That's all right.
Thanks,
Bring
David.
maple syrup to this invasion.
Which reminds me, I gotta buy some Jesse PLA soon this week. Maybe next
I
week.
still have half a roll. I love the 2.3 kilogram rolls at the prices. I tell all my makers that I help right now with my effort that go there.
You know, in all honesty, I can hardly wait until I get the new person in and I can get caught up on everything, so I can get back to the 2.2 rolls because I know people like them.
Yeah, I like them. Like this thing eats filament, just massive amount of filament.
Big printers
These eat
need
them
it.
too, and I'm
I
running
can't-
3 kilogram rolls.
I can't wait until you perfect PETG. As soon as you perfect PETG, you and Atomic will be my primary filament providers.
There's
Especially
another.
there's industrial runoff PETG.
Yeah, our
Or
effort
any
uses-
kind of blue.
Not happy with them.
Now, if you didn't know this, did you know that, for example, when you make a PLA, you order a color for that and you get a color mix for that? I can't use the same color on PLA that I use in PETG. I have to redo it and have a completely different color batch made for that.
Yeah.
Is it just because the PLA science is a little different that the color doesn't react the same way?
Well, what they do is that they make a master batch for me, and the way
Master batch all day.
But the way that they work is that I actually send them pellets from my batches, and they make colorant for me from that, so that I always have a really good match. That way, the plastic that holds the color together that I mix in with the raw plastic actually comes out exactly the same. It always the colorant doesn't deteriorate the quality of the filaments. So I could be lazy and mix in some PLA, colorant into it, but then it would degrade the quality of the PETG.
Yeah.
TIL.
Like contaminant.
Yeah.
Today I learned.
And if you think about it, I mean, the ratios vary. Some of my highest ratios is like 10-1. So I have to put in 10 kilograms of raw pellets and 1 kilogram of colorant pellets.
Isn't black the most expensive to make?
It's not in my line. It's not the most expensive to make, but it's up there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
My most expensive color is Golden Winter.
Why is it your most
flake in
expensive?
there?
Let's see. Give me a second here. I'll tell you, because I did loosely post this on Twitter a while back, but I'll tell you some fun numbers here in a second. Let me go find it, because I made a wonderful Excel sheet. It's all automated. My most expensive color is Golden Winter. My cheapest color is Natural, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And then as far as like a normal color, my cheapest color is Design White. Black is number 22.
Wow.
Golden Winter is number 28. White is number 14.
There's something that everybody's been asking for. According to John Mack, he's hoping that this color comes out, and he wants someone to invent it. He wants, fluorescent brown to become a color. Think you can make that happen, Dave?
Fluorescent
bring it up, and it comes up as a wonderful joke. But I have sat down with the lab people, and their minds exploded when I said I wanted a fluorescent black brown. Because technically, it's not possible, and they were confused as hell.
No, Dave, do safety brown.
You know, I mean,
the hell is safety brown? You walk in the bathroom and you're like, I can safely go where there's no brown.
No, you'll stay safe if you're covered in brown because no one will want to get within 6 feet of you.
What the crap was that?
But
literally,
one of the labs I worked with.
This conversation went down the toilet.
And we haven't even pulled out Dickosaurus Rex.
Hey, Justin, that's what we need to put on the race.
That is a lovely color.
It's almost
And
as
what
big
color
as
was? And what filament was that printed on?
fibrology pink.
Oh, okay. Well, I was hoping. I thought you would say Jesse PLA.
He doesn't have a pink yet.
Look
I
at
don't
the
have a good
details.
pink yet.
The details of the veins. That just blows me away. Oh, it's gone now.
Tom, check your Twitter DMs.
My magenta comes out pretty pinkish.
Ooh.
That's all he has to add to that.
Ooh.
Ooh,
I
Mom.
don't have any, so I can't really tell.
Right.
Actually, I have this one filament that looks like skin color. Hang on a second.
I need to get the Ender 5, or not the Ender 5, the MakerBot working so that I can try to do dual extrusion.
I mean, you look at this stuff. This is like a mystery ABS I was sent from the guys over at Coex. You gotta admit, that does look like skin color.
I don't have to admit anything, sir.
That looks orange to me right now. So.
It looks orange, but it actually in person
in
looks
charge.
more.
No, 3D warp
Well, then.
flesh.
That's
I had
I'm in
to-
charge.
You're
Uh
out.
oh.
If I had that skin color, I would be worried I had corona.
Or related to Trump.
No.
Oh,
If I had
man.
mystery orange as my skin color, I'd be worried I was related to Trump.
Yeah.
Man. I'm about to have an Einstein for sale if anyone wants one or needs one.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to want or need one, but like everything in life, I for some reason have a problem with saying no when people say, "Hey," and it's like, it's going to bite me in the ass, and my wife might leave me, but at least I'll have a ton of printer parts that I don't know what I'll do with. Maybe just make more printers, I guess.
If your wife leaves you, does that mean you have how many cats will you have?
Shut up. I'm not going to have any. I'm going to send them all I'm just going to drop ship them to your house.
You don't have my address.
I don't need your address. As soon as you send me that package, I'll have your address.
Congratulations to Dave and Printed Solid.
I know,
for
Mr. Buttram. I agree.
Carrying Railcore products now.
Thank you.
Why? What am I doing wrong?
What?
She's been playing with a thing in Idea Maker.
Yeah,
I just stuck it in there and sliced it.
That's what she.
The hell? Because
That's what she
Idea
said.
Maker on my machine is being fucking stupid.
Here is one little weird, odd thing, and now I gotta go look for it because I can never remember what it's actually called. It's in the others, and don't check this thin wall thing. Uncheck that.
Uncheck the thin wall thing.
The Trump orange color.
Huge.
Sometimes there's a weird issue.
You got to spell it with a Y.
It did come
Huge.
up and say there was an issue on the computer when I went to view the file on the computer.
No, just call it
My
POTUS.
Mac immediately came up and said there's an issue with the file.
Just call it POTUS orange.
Right.
know.
With Idea Maker, I found Simplify 3D.
What panel was that under?
That was under the Devin
Other.
doesn't need to know. I'm
Wait,
not going to
second
tell
to the
you.
last one.
Now Justin is in charge.
Huh? Oh, great. What do I do now?
You
I don't
do
know.
nothing. You just enjoy the
Oh, I
fact that
just
you're in the you're in that first seat now.
Okay.
It's just cool to be hanging out.
Yeah.
What version of Idea Maker are you using too?
One.
You know, Idea Maker just updated like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
and it's back.
I found Simplify 3D and much happier combo.
I unchecked that box and it's
Dave's back
still
now.
doing the thing.
See, look.
What
But yeah, no,
version
Dave,
do you
you should make an orange and you should call it POTUS Orange.
3.4.2.
I'm not in charge of nothing. I'm not even in
That's
charge of my
old.
own life.
You trimmed your own facial hair. You're in charge of your own face.
Because I am
I left that up to the Vic razor.
Oh,
Idea Maker. Where the hell
He
did I
just sent the razor off and it did its
Yeah,
thing.
you're like
laid
about
down.
6
And the part I
versions.
was in charge of, look how much it's screwed up. I mean, there's just patches everywhere.
Okay, I will update Idea Maker. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, and if you can't figure it out, I'm telling you, post on that forum. I sent you the link to their service forum,
Uh-huh.
and you just go onto the software Idea Maker and you post it. It'll take like 12, 14 hours to get a response because they're always on the other side of the world, so they're not, up when we are.
Yeah.
They're really
Yes!
Someone's in charge.
Yeah, but Devin,
I'm
you
in
only will stay
charge.
there for so long, and then you'll be gone again.
Hey, Ron.
Devin, Devin
Yeah.
say something stupid.
Say something stupid.
Say something stupid? Yeah, Dan B is stupid.
Ooh.
Ooh, burn.
You just walked into that one.
Depends on how far away the door
who
is.
the hell's this Dan B guy?
He's an ass. That's what I heard. I heard he's an ass.
Oh, Devin,
His
I
wife-
have that
his
green
wife
you
tells
like
me
so
all the
much.
time he's a jerk.
Yeah.
Dan, lean to your. There you go, right there.
Yeah,
See
yeah.
right
Oh wait, hold on. Wait, ready? Here we go. There we go.
Okay. He's hanging on your glasses, man. He's dancing on your head.
Right there. There you go.
That's the best one.
Better,
man.
even
Oh.
better.
Yes.
It just makes us laugh every time.
Since I am the Kitten
Chris Farley
King,
in charge.
who needs a Tiger King when you have Kitten King?
You are the Kitten King.
I'm just gonna change my name from now on. Just call myself the Kitten King, and everybody will wonder why.
For the same reason why I'm the scolded princess.
You got Chris Farley in charge.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
Taco in charge.
Right.
Taco's in charge.
And we can put and see what you did. You put Devin in charge, and we all went quiet now.
It got boring.
Devin, what
Yeah.
what issues are you having with Idea Maker? I might be able to dive into
So,
those.
I have this model of Rosie the robot, and all of it's printed just fine except for her arms. It's supposed to be this one model, and it's separating it in half, and I don't know why.
Send me your profiles.
Yeah.
Prusa Slicer.
Yeah.
The raised does
Simplify
not
3D.
print well with Prusa Slicer.
No, Simplify 3D is really good though. I'm getting I just printed this in ABS.
Yeah, I don't have my Simplify 3D
Anything you do in
laptop.
Simplify 3D, I can do an Idea Maker better.
Well, your Simplify 3D laptops at school?
Yes.
Wait a minute. So you have a bought version of Simplify 3D that's in your name, yet you left it at school?
All she has
It's
to
not.
do is download
It's
it.
not
and
in
log
my name. It's in the school's name.
Oh, well, that
There's
changes
your problem.
everything.
Simplify 3D is the devil.
And I also don't
Whoa.
like using it.
I agree.
I don't like
Yeah.
using
Oh,
Simplify
Dan,
unless
back
I'm
to
on
the bottom again.
Yep. That's how it works. man.
I am in
I
charge
don't-
here.
I don't really get taken out of the rotation
It's
for very
Tanny.
long. It's like
Tanny's back.
Danny's back.
And Dave's just listening to a
Back
bunch of
again.
makers go crazy.
Anyway,
Hey nerds. Hey Tanara. We are nerds. We are very much nerds.
Nerd? What? I am not a nerd.
Okay.
I'm
Everyone.
a geek. I'm not a nerd.
I'm not a nerd. Every 24-year-old girl has 6 robot teams and 3D printing obsession, right?
Yes, that's that is every girl. Yeah.
No, they don't.
Whoa.
Oh no, I lost my power.
I'm back.
Hey, she's
You're
back
gonna
down to
move
the
me out
bottom.
next.
Woohoo!
That is.
Was I just dethroned?
Yes,
Yes,
you were.
yes, you were.
I guess I should take off the crown.
Yeah. Now
That's
you're
a
living
pretty
a
cool crown.
lie.
Look, I got the dancing taco over me now. Ha ha ha.
I'm still
Oh.
scolded princess because I was scolded. So
Wow,
well.
that taco's got extra sour cream for you.
Oh,
See, they
that
need to do
doesn't
like
sound right.
9 people.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right at all.
There.
I agree. We need 9 people on the screen. We really do.
Crown of
Yeah,
non-professionals.
we really need 9.
But it's
They're
like
working
you
on
have
it.
to pay for it. You have to pay for it.
No, he's paying for it.
We could always switch to Zoom.
No, we will.
Everyone wants you to join streams again.
Does everybody like giving away their personal information
So sick of
unknowingly?
Zoom.
I had 5 Zoom meetings yesterday, and I about stabbed my webcam.
Yeah, it gets hot, doesn't it?
Well, no, it was just 5 Zoom meetings in one day is too many Zoom meetings.
Yeah. I spend a better part of every evening on Zoom with my maker group on the COVID stuff we're doing.
Okay, but at least it's a wanted Zoom thing. You're there because you want to be there, not for work stuff.
I enjoy it. I come home for work to hop on that, and my wife's not so happy about that one.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's been nice hanging with you guys, but I gotta jump. I got stuff I gotta get done tonight, so unfortunately, duty calls. Yeah, it was great talking to all you guys again, and you know what? I'll see you guys whenever he lets me back in this channel. Probably never again.
Yeah, probably the same.
You can't come back in until you're actually naked. Oh, he left. Dang it.
Later,
Too late.
Hey, who's ready for some cat butt?
Oh no, there's a cat. What?
Good. Cat butt on screen.
Yay!
Cat
butt.
Cat butt.
I guess that means I need to start grabbing them. And
I had to put Dan back in because someone said cats and butt.
Yes.
Justin, this is my cat Pixel. He is an ass model.
Yeah, he's
also
in everybody's face.
He's also 18 pounds of adorable fluff.
Yes.
And also an ass model.
Yes.
He's also a professional ass model.
Yes.
I'm still waiting for the editor's cut to the cat movie with the digital butts.
Oh, Pixel, you just got flea medicine, didn't you?
Good name for a cat, though. Pixel. Good name.
Yes, he has 8-bit stripes on his belly. I'd show you, but it's kind of difficult to.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's hard to get him to cooperate.
He also is the sweetest cat ever, except for he hisses at Tanny.
Chris's booty is camera ready at all times. Oh my god. Yeah, but that beard though. That beard though.
Yes. I was introduced to my new principal at school via Zoom, and hi, so and so. My name is Devin, and then cat ass.
Like, hi, my name is Devin, and this is my cat's ass, Pixel.
Pixel, why are you chewing on that when you know you shouldn't be?
Dave.
Right now.
Oh, that's how that
Face ass. You know.
Tanny, Pixel keeps trying to eat this.
Tanny, Pixel wants to eat this. You shouldn't have sent it.
I blame Tanny because he's the one who gave it to me.
Damn you, Tanny. How dare you? Oh no, it's Tripod's garage.
What?
Everybody hide.
Hi, Tripod.
What's going on, guys?
Oh,
Are you leaving us now?
He actually doesn't look like a tripod. He just looks like a regular human being in a regular place. But he does look like he's in a garage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looks like a nice garage. Oh wow.
Pixel.
What is
Look at
that?
garage.
That's
ATV.
Yes,
No,
that's-
the other thing. The more important thing, the 3D printer.
Oh. Yeah, that's
Under 5+.
Yep.
Oh, I know a guy having his come in the next couple weeks. That thing is huge.
Yeah, it's definitely a. I was one of the first people to get it.
I'm still team need to fix my under 5.
Oh yeah.
Dang. Is that on an aluminum frame too?
I'm done doing PPE stuff. This is my last batch. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm to the point of like losing my mind. Yeah, it's
Agreed.
like I don't know how people are doing like 10,000 of them.
That's
I give you a lot of credit.
I've done about 1,000 of them.
I've done about 1,500 total.
Hey, Chris, swap me out.
just swap me out. No, you can. I mean,
Fine.
Yeah, so
Get out of here, Devin.
I
need you.
actually watched one of Chris's videos. He was one of the first ones I watched about the configuring Marlin. So it kind of helped me out there a little bit with. So I did the SKR board.
Nice.
And TFT 3.0.
Sexy.
Yeah.
I blame Joe Mike.
Joe Mike in a tub.
Joe Mike.
Anytime Joe Mike's in a hot tub, it always,
yes,
makes the party a
Joe
little
Mike
strange.
started me with Octoprint.
Don't blame me. Blame the good Lord for what he gave me.
He started me with his pre-flash SD card. Saved me so much headache when I first got my first Prusa.
Oof.
Yeah, I stole these cabinets from work.
Well, steal me some too.
Yeah, those are some nice cabinets.
Hey, does anyone know what they are?
Those are for the drafting papers, right?
No. Hey, that's close, but
Yeah.
These are LTO cabinets. They're for tape backups for server rooms.
Nice.
They were like, well, we're moving to another building. I'm the IT manager for a company, so we're moving to another building, and they're like, well, we don't need these LTO cabinets because we're consolidating. You know how much these cabinets cost?
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
It's about $8,000 per cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll take them. So
You're like, I have uses for those.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the bonus. You won't pay me in cash, but you'll pay me in product that I was going to have to throw away if you wouldn't let me have it. So thank you.
You know, that was the only thing I took. Other people were taking parts of servers and stuff. I'm like, give me the cabinets. So brought my truck there, and my brother's like, I have to help you move those. These things, unloaded, not even they're like 500 pounds each or more.
Yeah. They're solid.
Oh yeah, they are.
Which they needed to be.
You can park your truck on it and it won't have a dent in it.
Well, you have to consider what was going in them.
Yeah, I mean, when you do a whole roll of tapes, honestly, when they hold like 60 tapes or something like that or more.
I'm doing the wrong damn thing. Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, crabby llama! Everyone, watch out. He might bite. They spit.
Where did he catch crabs at?
Here comes the crabby llama.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
That's my favorite llama.
Everyone's favorite llama is the crabby llama.
There's
only
one llama.
Dan, you're in IT, right?
Yes, sadly, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sadly.
So am I, sadly.
The worst part about being in IT anymore is it's like at one point when you said I'm in IT, people used to be like, "Really?"
Yeah.
Now you're like I'm in IT, and they're like, "The kid next door knows how to fix that."
Yeah,
that's
like.
That's what 3D printers are now. Oh, you have a 3D printer? So cool! And now 3D printers are the new IT.
Yeah.
But that's why I am a network admin, because when I tell everyone I'm a network admin / network engineer, they go, "What?"
Right.
Yeah. Big words and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not just in IT. I'm a network guy.
Ooh.
Yes.
Keep
So what? Like
the rest of it going.
Wi-Fi and stuff? Yes, Wi-Fi and stuff.
Yep. You
But
must.
yes, I am.
That is all my job entails, is making sure
you a
you
fan
have
of
Wi-Fi. A fan of what?
Cisco products.
Me or him?
Anybody?
Whoever was talking, who's the network? Sorry, I always forget the network engineers.
That's me.
That'd be that guy right there.
Yeah.
That guy right there.
Yes, I am a fan of Cisco products.
Yeah. My sister works for him and sent me a MX68W.
Oh, well.
Nice.
It's for free. It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean,
everything
I
is
have a couple of the endpoints in my house. That'd be great. So Actually, just two.
Yeah.
You cover everything. So
Right? I'm in an apartment. I'm running this thing. It's outrageous.
I mean, I've got.
The people upstairs and downstairs love you right now.
I personally run all open source in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm a fan of Meraki because working in a school, I really just I want something quick and easy. I have to deal with enough of the staff and students that I don't also want to have to keep chasing network stuff. So just throw in the Meraki, quick and go
That's
away.
what I literally just deployed to all of our library branches was Meraki.
Yeah, the Meraki stuff is I like the web interface stuff when it comes to the ability to just kind of like config from anywhere and then hit submit, and it's within 5 minutes it's pushed out to everything.
I mean,
you don't have to
it has its
around
trade-offs.
Yeah.
I mean, like with an ASA is a powerful appliance. Even a cheap ASA, well, there's really no such thing as a cheap ASA.
A lower
end ASA is, if you know CLI, then you get in there and you can like make that thing sing an opera. Meraki, it's more, will this let me?
Yeah, it's that's why, like I said, I mean, I like it for it's stupid simple. Just all I want to do is create a network, throw a policy at it, and then tell these computers they can connect to it, submit, push, done. 5 minutes, it's up, it's out there, everything is working. Less than 5 minutes, it's up, it's out there, it's working, and
I mean
the policy and leave it wide open.
Built-in cloud notifications are nice. I mean that and virtual stacking.
Yeah, the staff at the school love when the kids are just sitting there with their earbuds in and their cell phone like this under the desk, thinking that it's like, no, I think that little Timmy loves to just stare at his junk all day. I don't think he's sitting there talking on his cell phone or playing a game or nothing in the middle of class.
Not playing Fortnite.
They hated me because when I first came in, the guy before me thought it'd be a great idea to create a student network, a student Wi-Fi network, and to just let the kids have access to the Wi-Fi all day. And I was like, okay, I'm sitting there as I'm walking down the halls. All I see is, like I said, earbud in the ear. I see a bunch of kids with their phone down just below the desk level, playing games, chatting on chat rooms and stuff. And I'm like, okay, look, I know you've got some policies in place to block some stuff, but these kids aren't stupid anymore. They know how to get around shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the dumbest thing ever. He left. I took over. I went to the administration. And I said, look, we have a liability on our hands. And they're like, what are you talking about? I said, we opened up a network for the kids to use their personal devices on the school's network. If they do something illegal, we are providing them the pipe to do the illegal activity. We are
VPNs, baby.
Yeah, well, we are, in some way, shape, or form liable for this, and a parent or a lawyer or someone could come back on us, and we could be in trouble for this. I said, the only thing we want them to have access to is the stuff we provide for them. And they looked at me and they were like, so what are you saying? I said, I want to shut this down. I said, do we need to talk to the board? The superintendent said, shut it down now. I was like, thank you. I walked into my office. I logged into the interface. I went to the student network. I hit disable and I was done. Within not even 5 minutes, I had 3 students coming into my office asking me what happened to the student network. And by the end of the day, none of the kids would talk to me. I was like,
all mad.
Thank you.
Free lunch is over.
No. Actually, I would have done. I would have just gone with the history, brought it over to him, and said, "Here's your liability right here."
Well, I found it more entertaining to use we could have legal action brought upon us for this, because if these kids are doing because the biggest thing was, and he said, what do you mean? And I used the wonderful example that everybody hates to hear. One of our underage children just took their phone into the bathroom using Snapchat. You can figure out what they took a picture of and then sent it to another student, either in this school or another. And bear in mind, this child is under the age of 17. The child that received is under the age of 17, and the staff member who just saw it is over the age of 18.
Yeah.
You tell me what legal ramifications could come upon us for this one. And he just said, good point, shut it down. I mean, that was what
as John Mack says, you're an internet killer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, all the data that passes across the network belongs to the owner of the network.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, it is the school I am employed by, the network I am in charge of, and the job I would lose.
Yeah.
So
you don't play around with that crap.
Nope. I favor my job too much to have these kids think I'm their friend. I am the IT guy. I fix the computers. If you want to learn IT stuff and you got a free period and you're a junior or a senior in high school, there's now a program where you can come hang out in the IT office. I can teach you how to do some basic stuff. We can teach you how to, just little things that are okay.
Get around the
And then
process.
after that, if you want to run off into college and become, do something in computers, you've at least got your foot in the door to see if you like it. So
I would just tell them to run.
Yeah.
Anymore, I tell them, I'm like, if you get into IT and you think that in the area that we live in, you're going to make 6 figures a year or more, I said, just get the hell off the ladder now because you are high. I said,
Yeah,
I'm like,
all it is now is outsourcing and crap like that. So I mean,
Okay, 6-figure IT only happens if you work for Google or if you work at a really high-powered place in a big city.
yeah,
Go learn pharmaceuticals and make a mint.
and then you have to have like a managing director title or director title.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not I'm the
Yeah.
IT person.
If you don't have
I'm
the
the
title,
core IT person.
you're
I'm
not
the
making
director of
it.
IT for big box company number 4.
right now you have 3 different places in IT. You got the guy at the top making the 6 to 7 figures a year. You got the guys below him that are making the high 5, low 6, and then you've got the guys at the bottom who are making just over minimum wage, about the same as you do flipping burgers, and all they're doing is taking phone calls and reading from the corporate issued manual on how to handle the problems, and that's it.
And call that management, admins, and help desk.
Yep.
But once you get up into the engineering level, like if you're a Microsoft systems engineer or a network engineer, you get a little bit above the admin level, which is nice. But it requires a lot of freaking certifications.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I got a friend studying for his Cisco cert, and we study together every night.
God help it.
Man, I remember the MCSE stuff of the 1990s. Everyone was taking those courses, and it was like, oh, hey, and I'm like, they ask me how many certs I have. I tell them, and then they're like, oh, I'm like, well, all my knowledge developed throughout all my careers, So, and so I was like,
a lot of mine. That's how I got in the door without a college degree. Was so many years of experience, and I knew what I was doing.
Oh my god!
But then I started getting what?
Check out. Oh my god!
What?
Chris, share my screen.
Oh crap! He's not listening, I guess.
Llama's picking on me. I just feel as though Llama's picking on me.
Nope, not you.
Okay, good. I'm safe.
It's definitely a Devin thing.
Why is it?
Why are you not sharing the right screen, Devin? Pick the right screen.
Didn't play it.
Whatever. It's just go check out Llama's Twitter. It's amazing.
I had to apologize a little bit for my Twitter yesterday with feedback. they just really pissed me off.
Pixel talking from Pixel's ass. Nice.
You got to hear the audio too, though.
I'm going to turn this on real quick.
So you guys know what I was doing before Printed Solid?
I do. Well, I know one of the things you did before Printed Solid.
Oh, I did a lot of crazy things before I did Printed Solid.
Yeah, I just remember back in the. I remember back in the 90s, like the late 90s, I guess, when you were with a few different television stations as they changed hands.
That was
the late 90s. I was alive for those.
That was about 2004, 2003, 2004 is when I started doing those networks.
Okay.
And right before I came here, I was at Discovery Communications. I was running Discovery Channel.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I was doing all their storage systems. And my last project before I left out the door was master control in a television station is usually a giant room of AV equipment that's all ultimately built in a stream to output.
Yeah.
And it's usually a huge map. You know, actually for Discovery, all their networks was a separate building in Virginia. And their main building was in Silver Springs, Maryland, where all the work was done, but a separate building just for the IT stuff in Virginia. And my job was to pretty much shut down that building in Virginia and make it 100% cloud-based.
Oof.
So there was a ton of articles written up on it and all that stuff. But the fact of shutting down that building to lay off all the IT guys so it could all go to Amazon Cloud.
Nice. Hey, before you leave, just to let you know, fire everybody.
Well, that's the thing is that we move a lot of our stuff to AWS, and we're talking about storage. You know, when people say, "Oh, it's a certain amount per gigabyte for storage," but then you get that annual bill, and you're like, "Oh, that's $250,000 because you have 70, 80 terabytes on there."
Yep.
Oh, how can we offshore this to maybe Glacier or somewhere that's cheaper? Well, you won't have metadata searching or any of that. So good luck. You know, you chose not to have a local data center anywhere. You chose a cloud solution.
You thought it would be cheaper, it would be easier to deal with, and you'd save all this money. And in the end, just in data storage and transfer fees alone, you're going to be paying out the ass.
Yeah, you know, I work for an advertising company, and the data volume, we're shooting 8K footage. We all know.
Jesus.
Okay.
4K footage is huge. I don't even want to think about it.
We have sands and in each of our locations, and it's just nothing but struggle. With data. And we're talking about everyone, all these different agencies in the same building trying to upstream AWS at the same time.
Yeah, no, forget it. I mean, it's forget it. If nothing else, those are things. What you do is you have to have some sort of on-site, and at least use that as like a backup or like an offload, like off hours, offloading, not a on the fly kind of a we're going to work from this server. That's
the thing is you can never catch up.
No, you would never catch up.
No, you can't. It's physically impossible. Well, now you can because
right now
everyone's working from home. So hey, it may have all caught up, but by the time everyone gets to the new normal in the office, it'll still be a backlog.
Yeah. So. And that's the worst part is and you're going to continue to fall behind. You're never really going to get caught to the point where you're going to be kind of as it's being done and processed and moved out, it's being picked up on the other end. It's always going to have, you're always going to keep doing that. I mean, you're going to just keep getting farther and farther away from, that is a headache that I don't understand why certain places do that. Like even me, like I've thought about it because really all we use our equipment for anymore is just for the Active Directory, to roll out some printers. And then we use it for, well, this year we didn't get a chance to use it because we didn't do it, but for like the Illinois Assessment of Readiness testing, which is also known as PARC testing in some schools. But with that, we'll use it as we'll have like a caching server set up for the tests so that this way we're not constantly streaming tests while the kids are taking them. Yeah. Those are the only reasons I use the servers anymore. And we have 2 servers that are currently running. When it comes down to it, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to consolidate both of those. They're both virtual. I'm going to consolidate them into one server. I'm going to have the school spend a little more money. We'll beef up, get ourselves one good server, one good backup server, and then we'll take the secondary backup server and the secondary server out of play. And if they want some other kind, if any of the board members say we want some other kind of backup, that's when I'll make the suggestion of let's look at rolling off to like a AWS or something like that, just as a offsite solution in case something goes down here in house. We can roll off to the offsite. We can just use that just for, again, we're just doing Active Directory stuff.
Well, I mean, are you guys
longer? But
do you have like NetApp or like we're phasing off NetApp and going to Nasuni appliances?
Yeah, we don't have any NetApp in place right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, like I said, I mean, we used to do on-site storage for all the staff members as well. They had their own network drive. We phased that out, and it was a happy accident that caused that because I was pushing staff. I'm like, look, I'm tired of having to worry about a VPN. I'm tired of having to worry about you guys being able to do what you need to do from anywhere. I was like, with Google Cloud Print, you guys can log in and you can send it to the printers here in the school, the ones I set up. You can print to it. It'll be waiting for you when you get here, or you can send it to the copier when you come in, fob in, print it off, and then go.
Yeah, we have smart print on all of our floors. Hey, get off the IT shit. The filament is like, now the global commodity that everyone wants and no one can get. So I'm like doing the scraps on Amazon. Has anyone ever used Sunlu?
Yes.
Yep.
How is it?
Yes.
I hated it.
It is. You will have to print hot and you will have to run slow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
not high quality.
No.
Yeah, well,
print hot, run slow, and when you print, expect it to. It's not going to be what they say. The plus minus.
I'm
the
not
plus minus won't be what they say.
Anything that usually I do print at like 60.
Yeah. So go slower.
Slower. Even slower than
go 50. Go 50, maybe 45.
Okay.
I was going 40 to 20,
Yeah,
and then I still had issues.
I hope there's no Kodak fans, but man, Kodak has been the absolute worst filament I've ever used so far.
I kind of have become like a shill for Dave there. I hate to say it, but like I haven't had any problems with this.
I haven't tried it. Sorry.
So,
I mean, it's not cheap.
Dave
quality,
makes good shit.
Price. Yeah, it's not.
It's not the right color.
Hey.
So I
Even
mean,
though he won't make colored filaments.
My buddy came over today, and he hasn't been to my house in a while. And last time he was here, there was Hatchbox and this and that and everything else. And over the last 3 orders I put in for filament have all been with Dave.
Well, I mean,
I order 3 rolls at a time because I don't want to pay shipping.
Yeah. Well, we got.
I knew that as a going to be, so that's why I priced it for that.
Yeah, and that's why, like I said, I mean, I was going to order one tonight, and I was like, just off chance, let's see what shipping would cost me. I was like, $12. I'll buy 2 more rolls just to avoid paying $12 in shipping.
Yeah, I'll buy
the big stocks right now.
Once you go PETG though, Dave, you're gonna have a lot of people coming after that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So let me tell you guys a story about PLA real quick.
Before you do that, I'm gonna have to peace out. I've got a podcast recording. I'll be back if y'all are here in an hour and a half.
All right.
You and your podcast, God.
Good, she's gone. Now I can have Kona.
Oh wait, what?
There you go.
Oh,
It's the puppy.
there's a big
Kona, what are you doing?
We haven't seen the puppy.
What's the puppy's name?
Kona.
Kona.
I'm sorry, did you say COVID?
Yep.
Yeah, my dog there is in all my videos now.
You're like,
Marcus
why am I
Adams,
up
hi,
here?
sir. How you doing? Marcus Adams, when are you going to jump in the stream?
Right. Matthew Bailey's asking about this office that people are speaking of. And to explain the office, I guess he works remotely.
What?
Matthew Bailey's said when we were talking about what's it called and offices.
Oh yes, this office, as in like, please, what is this office? Yes, everybody
And
works
then
from home.
And then he had some kind of multi-cloud approach to vendor lock-in. I'm not as into terms, but COVID O'Brien. Welcome to the COVID O'Brien show.
And everybody look at Sleeping Llama.
Right?
I'm just lounging.
Yeah.
So Dave,
Let me
what
go to
were
my
you saying?
lounge mode. Hold on.
COVID
There
the
we go.
Barbarian.
Lounge mode.
Got to get your feet up. Oh, he's got a blanket and everything.
Oh yeah.
I
We
saw
lose
that.
somebody?
And you know how many hours I've spent in this room in the last 40 days?
No, tripod's not on.
Dude, I spent more.
Right?
Uh-oh. This is another cool thing about Cisco Meraki. I've just got some emails about access points that went down and a switch that went down.
Yeah.
One of my branches is offline, and I don't care. It's Saturday.
Yeah. Who's going to use it on Saturday night at 8?
Yeah.
Well, we're locked down anyway, so our branches haven't been open for a month and some days. So it's like,
Here is a correction. You guys keep calling Dave's filament cheap. It's not
That
cheap.
would be Mr.
Expensive.
JMT.
Good value
Mr.
It's
JMT likes to Vader the mic.
Oh, my-
Low margin filament.
There you
That's how
go.
I look at it.
I'm switching to my freaking AirPods. Screw you guys.
Freaking off the crap.
AirPods are coming.
I actually bought the was it TWS 200s or something, the cheap ones, because taking the public transit almost every day, I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna risk it, and they actually work pretty good. So
I like that, Mr. Bertram. Affordable filament.
Mr. Adams, sir. My Mother's Day gift. My wife took care of that for the mothers, and then as for my wife, my gift to her every year is I don't pester her for things that I would normally pester her for every other day of the week. It seems to have worked out good so far. She hasn't killed me, and she hasn't complained, at least enough to any of her friends that they would come and tell me that I did something wrong. So,
anyone see what the White Knight guys posted? The belt bear.
The belt bear. Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. But look, the extrusion looks like either 40-20 or 80-40. It's got to be 80-40.
Could be stacked extrusions. I don't know, but
Yeah,
it doesn't look like it's at an angle. It looks like it's like a straight belt with an actual Z-axis.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I mean, that'd be great for production printing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not a true. I mean, it is kind of a true belt printer, but it's like it's basically a Prusa with a bed that just moves off to make a new spot.
That'd be useful for when I'm at work and I can't start more prints. Matt Bailey has a printing question. What are your top 3 mods for an Ender 5 Plus? That's the guy that is actually getting the Ender 5 Plus that I know.
Well,
and top 3 mods, trash, dumpster.
Am I the only one here that has
fire.
a Ender 5 Plus in this group right now?
you are, and that's because I want one, and I again have a small herd of children as well as a what is that called, a clouder of cats. So I don't have the extra funds.
Well, I'll take
the
question
wonderful things
for you. The first thing is not a mod. It's just I hope you replace the power supply. That's the one thing I would say, because especially if you're in a room with below ambient temperatures of the outside or the inside of the house, because that power supply is going to work a little bit harder to ramp up and maintain that temperature. Like mine's in the garage, so I killed mine within 2 months. So,
what power supply did you go with?
The Meanwell. I was one of the first videos to put the Meanwell in
That's
the
a 24-volt printer.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, and I had no idea what I was doing. I said, Creality was of course not responsive. So I
Never
on Facebook and Twitter and everything.
There you go.
Upgrade the
He's got
PSU
it.
mainboard and replace the LCD.
Yeah, well, and then that was my next upgrade was replacing with the SKR 1.4 turbo and the TFT display. So that was my
I got to figure out how to get the TFT V3 to work with my BTT002 board. I had it together and I never could get it to work, so I pulled it back out.
So Matthew, I have both those on my channel. So for you, if you want to watch them.
Solder on there, you bastard.
Yes,
What?
Oh,
I know. I'm with
Early
you.
adoption sucks.
Yeah, it does.
He's in, he's out. I like how he just comes in and comments and disappears. Like poking. I'm here. I'm not.
Yeah, so I mean that was my first my first and only 3D printer right now, because I'm with you with the dog or with the cats. And wait, did Dan just get kicked? Where is he? He's not there.
I've got my MK3S, my Zaribo 420 MK3S, and the Beast, which I thought the Zaribo was big, and then I got this thing for free, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just getting ready to tie. You got me back in. Damn it! I was getting ready to say where Cocky doesn't love me anymore.
Musical cheers in here.
Don't you start, Dan.
I love how he just pops in and out. It's hilarious.
It's just a game of musical chairs. Who's in? Who's out? Who's in,
It's
who's
like
out?
we're having a sleepover and he's our dad just popping in being like, you guys need to behave.
Yeah, so I actually got that Kickstarter for the CR 6SE.
Yeah, that's like
for the
$2 million.
Yeah, 269. Yeah, or it's 265.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that they crowdsource that thing, because honestly, it does look like a decent printer, but it's the fact that like anybody, like all of us, it carries a stigma because we know what Kickstarter is, and we know that that's not what they should have done. They really
and that was the first thing I've ever funded on Kickstarter. I never done it before.
There was one a few years ago I funded and never came out. I gotta.
Yeah, that was if it's only because it's Creality that I actually did it, because the backlash they would get if they didn't do any of it, people would just drop them like flies. So I mean, so the risk and reward were, but I've been asking them for, to send it to me early because, so I can review it after I seen this awful video of their sponsor that sponsors them. Oh my God. I was like, I don't know. Did anyone watch it with Cyborg?
I did. I backed Genesis.
I cannot watch her video.
I cannot, I have another.
Naomi is a poopy head.
I can't watch her videos because, again,
and there's ice cream in the fridge.
In my house with all my daughters, I can't fire up on her videos and watch them because I can't. It's nothing against Naomi. I get she's doing what she's doing and it works for her.
It does.
It's the attention, and that's the reason she did what she did. She gets the attention. I get that. But the problem is like in my house, I can't. I got 4 daughters walking around the house.
I put on the TV in the living room. I have that was another thing that I got from the move was a 90-inch TV. So I did take that off the conference room wall. So
tripod. I backed back a couple of years ago. I backed the Genesis 3D printer. They shipped 10 printers. It's gonna be my first 3D printer. It looked great. 10 printers, lost all my money. I was so mad. I don't back anything over like $50.
Yeah. So I honestly, to me, she's a puppet. So,
I mean,
that's honestly, I hate. If anyone, the way that she assembled that CR6E was just atrocious. Just as bad as the Android Plus.
To check my box.
Oh yeah, I just ate my watermelon one I got yesterday from Printed Solid.
Nice.
All
right, I got to order from Printed Solid. So
I think I have an order a week.
Send it over.
Like I said, I'm shilling Dave just because for the quality. I mean, it's worth it.
Yeah.
So
I
never find what I'm looking for.
They're saying on the CR, so I'm talking about what Mr. Bartman is saying, the 8-bit board. I was questioning this since asking what board, like anyone else, right? 8-bit or 32, right? We all just call it future proofing, right? You should have at least a 32-bit in there by now.
The 32-bit board anymore is cheaper for them to get and make than the 8-bit board. So why the hell are they wasting money buying the
So get this.
I don't get that.
So they hit their campaign and then they say, "Oh, anyone that wants a 32-bit board, will put it in there for free." Oh, you know what? So I'm thinking that no, they always have these at 32-bit, and they're just saying that they're throwing them in there for free.
Yeah, they've got them sitting there in the warehouse with the 32-bit board.
Why would the Ender 3 V2 have a 32-bit board that's a lower price point machine, and the CR6 SE doesn't? Okay, I've been questioning that since their live streams since the beginning. Doesn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah, but it's Chinese, so it never.
I don't think most of what Creality does make any sense.
Yeah, so I think it's just a total marketing sham. They're doing that to get. Hey, we're gonna throw a 32-bit because we hit the 1,000% goal. Hey, you want a 32-bit board? Oh, by the way, we were really gonna put those in these machines anyways. So I'm really curious if any of these pre-release YouTubers are told not to open and look at the underneath of the machine.
No. I'm kind of curious too. Or what they're going to say is they're going to say, we sent you guys the ones with the 32-bit boards just for testing. I mean.
Yeah, Mr. Button. Yeah, they did say it.
All right, guys. I actually have to go hop and help. I've got a bunch of people hopped on my Zoom to help, so I'm gonna.
Oh, Zoom! We banned Zoom at our company.
I know.
Enjoy your
so
I will. I really enjoy it. So if you guys want to join, tweet. If you guys want to hop in and chat there, tweet me and I'll throw you a link.
Yep.
Okay.
Later,
you guys have a good one. Thanks for having me, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
See you. Bye.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of Microsoft Teams meetings.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's WebEx that kills my Mac. It works great on my PC. It's my work Mac, so I don't care less. But and then it's like, okay, and then teams you can't do more than a 4 grid.
Yeah,
it just sucks. So
they're working on that. They're saying that they're going to do a 9 grid.
Yeah, but it's still nice to be able to do more than that. Zoom could handle a lot more. Same with WebEx. So.
Yeah, but it's Microsoft, so
yeah,
I mean,
you get what you get with Microsoft.
If it's running at all, that's a miracle.
Hey, it's Microsoft.
All right, somewhere around here, I had a tube of hot silicone. I used to make my own socks. I still have a huge tube.
Hey,
I was trying to find it, but it doesn't really matter. I've been thinking about smearing it on the bottom of that bed. That doesn't come up very fast. I wonder if it would actually help. What do you guys think? Help?
I think that anything Llama wants to do sometimes involves a fire extinguisher, or most of the time.
Yeah, Dave, when are you going to have your manual fire putter-outer thing back in stock?
When you
Every time I go there, that thing is never in stock. And I
really start calling it the Llama Fire Suppression.
I need that over here. I need one of those.
Brought to you in part by Llama Loops.
Hey, Mister, you guys remember on their live streams are people that don't know the answers to a lot of their questions. So you got Ben, Corey, Wendy, and they honestly don't know what's in these machines.
No.
So, oh my God, that awful video. I went on their Facebook communities and I just circled all the bad things that she did to that. She broke the extruder on that video.
Oh, Naomi did?
Yeah.
I got her blocked, so.
Like I said, man, I can't bring myself to watch your videos.
Honestly, it's an embarrassment to the maker community. She is. To me, it's
no, she's not an embarrassment. She's just
I know why. We all know why she's doing what she's doing.
We all know why she does it, but there's no need.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, good on her for doing it. You're spreading the word. Good for you. I mean, she's getting the attention that we can't get because again, you look at all of us as a collective, the 6 of us right now, just in stream. You look at all of us. If we sat there and went to a manufacturer and said, "Hey, this is what's wrong with your product," they're going to tell us to get bent. Yeah. Dave, I hate to say it, but you own a business. You have some pull. But how many times have you brought it to some like a business's attention and said, "Hey, this is a flaw in your hardware. This is a flaw with your piece of equipment," and they've said, "Yeah, we'll take that into consideration," and you never see or hear anything of it again. But you take a 4'0" little Asian girl and you put a couple of silicone pillows in there, and the attention is gone. Guys, she's gone on record as saying that she did what she did to help bring awareness.
Yeah. Oh, so especially in her country.
Yeah, I mean,
she's gotten a lot of flack in her country.
Oh yeah,
I mean, honestly, I give a lot of respect for her. But whoever is helping her with her videos needs to help her a little bit better. That's all I'm saying. Is that people pointed out the flaws in it. You broke the damn printer, and Creality's publishing that video.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the disconnect in that?
Have you seen the other 3D printing girl YouTuber?
No. Who's this one?
Oh boy.
Why is your mic not working, Chris?
Yeah, your mic is really low.
It's because he's got his mic twisted up again, guys.
There we go.
There we go.
No, like to go off the point, like okay, like the thing I can say about Naomi, she's hyper intelligent. She knows what she's doing. Like when she does like robots and
so well.
I know she can solder way better than I can, and I know that, like
I called her out. Oh man, I gotta give you a little insight to one of my videos. I scored an SMD workstation for dirt cheap.
Oh man!
I mean, this thing is like $700. I got it for $110.
There's my soldering and resin.
I need that.
Okay, sorry. Soldering gets me. Hey, let me get some Kleenex right now. I'm sorry. Good thing you
I can't solder. I can't solder.
I love a good solder.
I mean, I can make it happen, but
I've been soldering since I was 5.
Oh my god! I have a certificate.
Is that why you're so the way you are, Joe?
Yes.
All the lead fumes.
Oh yeah. Hey, that's what got to me. That's why I lost my leg. No.
Lead solder is better than lead-free solder.
Lead and mercury.
Well, anyways, yeah. So go what you were saying.
She's hyper intelligent and she knows what she's doing. It just, it was kind of exposed at least to the people who were intelligent enough to see that it was exposed during that whole like thing where she had that ordeal with that paper or the magazine that was doing an article on her, and I'm like, you can't have it both ways, and you know, you cannot criticize her on social media because there's literally 3,000 neckbeards who will appear out of nowhere to defend anything and everything she does, and it, you know, she's like me, but with a team of 5,000 neckbeards, because like I'll say something that's critical, and it's usually just me defending my point by myself.
Yeah.
She'll say something critical, and people be like, "Well, no," and then 4,000 people swarm in and be like, "You're you know," and just name call and bash and
how dare you criticize that poor girl and blah blah blah. It's like
she's just trying to help.
Yeah.
Well,
she's wrong. Word of open source and in the 3D printing community.
And if she's empowering people to do stuff, that's awesome. If she's not, that's whatever. It's like I can't fault her for doing what she does and how she does it. It's her brand and her.
It works for her.
If it works for her, that's awesome. Like again, I want to see more women in 3D printing. Like,
oh my god,
I'd love to see that. Like, we have that issue in the Prusa Facebook group where like, you know, we're very adamant about like keeping sexism down and any like we don't tolerate any like misogyny or anything like that. Like if you're gonna make jokes like, you know, I wish my printer was better. You know, I love my printer because it's better than my wife. Like we don't allow any of that. Like that's just, you know, there's a line. We're trying to be as open and to getting as many people in there. It's not happening. Like,
well, my wife.
We got Devin. Like I would love to see Devin make videos on 3D. Like I want to see someone who's real and really nerdy and into 3D printing and making videos.
My wife isn't nerdy, but I showed her the printer from the Big Tree has that new one with the pink on it.
Yeah.
And she's actually said she wants it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, I'll build you an extruded aluminum bench like mine. It'll be pink, and it'll be right along the side. I'm like, let's go for it.
I'm honestly hoping that once as dumb as this is going to sound, but I'm hoping that as soon as I acquire that Delta that I'm about to acquire from a certain bearded gentleman within the who may or may not be within this stream, when I acquire said Delta, granted it's a Delta, which is a pain in the ass, and it's one of the lower end Deltas on the scale, but still, I'm hoping once I acquire said Delta, my wife has been in love with that style printer since she saw me watching a Murph video from 2018. I'm hoping that maybe when it's here, it might get her more interested in actually doing shit with it rather than it. Yeah, I mean, like I'll use it obviously because why not? It's here, but I'm hoping it'll interest her because it'll be something she actually wants me to get. So,
hey Marcus, don't get us wrong. You're right. Actually, her videos are some of the first I've actually watched.
Yes,
she has a lot of 3D printing videos.
Vicky,
it's when you start to learn how it works and everything that there's a lot of shortcuts in them. That's all. Or it's like when she unboxes and dumps it upside down.
Yeah.
On the hotbed, you're like,
oh no,
what are you doing?
Well, you got to understand, like majority of the 3D printing industry on YouTube, the true influencers know about a third of what they should be knowing before they go onto YouTube. And it's not a knock. Like you got to understand, like you got Joel, he's not technical, but what he brings is somebody familiar, someone who's nerdy and has fun and enjoys it. And it brings that hobbyist perspective in a professional way, which gets the new people in.
Yeah, and that voice.
Then you got like Tom Salamander, who says he's an engineer, but obviously that's not true because every build video he has complications. Like he's like building things wrong or says something wrong on how it's done or just can't build it. Or like I watched him put linear rails on his Prusa and he's using a hammer to install. I'm like, there's a certain point where like the only reason he's friends with Stefan is because Stefan's a real engineer. Like,
and Stefan,
and he's holding him like, okay, I know Stefan, you're going to do better than me, but I'm just going to grasp onto your coattails and carry you can carry me along in it.
Hey, when I first saw Stefan,
Joel's number one thing that he does is that he's a really good translator.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a really good guy too. He's genuinely. He's
did anyone ever, when he saw Stefan for the first time, you're like, I did not expect him to look like that.
Yeah, Stefan's hilarious.
He is awesome. I love his videos. He's got that little bit of wit in almost every one of his videos, you know, and you know, I watched like a lot of the strength test of the different filaments when I first started watching 3D printing stuff, and it is very technical with, you know, and I was like, and then he would throw some wit in there. I really need to have my brother on my videos because, man, that'd be like NC-17 with the way they start bashing each other.
Buttram, you nailed it, dude. Like every time he builds something, it like I don't care if it's a Mark III, he does something wrong. And it's like I can build a bear without looking at the instructions. And I'm not anyone special. I went to school for engineering, but you can tell when somebody gets to a point that they actually understand what they're talking about, and someone who's just saying things and doing them, and then like it doesn't correct himself. And then there's a lot of that. Like my issue with Tom is I don't know, it's not really nepotism, but he's got his favorite things, and he will retract actual critiques. You know, like he's criticized the Mini, and then all of a sudden retracted them. You know, he's criticized E3D, then retracts them. It's like
he still hates the rail core.
Yeah, of course he does, because you know it's made in America. I don't know.
Well, they didn't send him one for free.
Yeah, it's you know, and I like that. You know, I wish Tom would be, because like I feel Tom would be the me, because he actually will go out and say, I hate this and this is stupid. Like the form bot, like I'm looking at it too. I'm like, that is a stupid design. There's a lot of stupid things about it. You know, but he won't pick on the big names or friends. And I'm like, and then if he does, he retracts them. And it's starting to get like really old watching him actually give good advice and then getting it retracted because I don't know why. Like, like same thing with Stefan's like nozzle video, and so many people are like, don't buy Chinese nozzles. And they're like, he took one nozzle and cut it in half, and now all Chinese nozzles are bad. I'm like, that's not how this works.
I remember that video. So.
And it was a video about like how like and you know, like when they're knocking me about the Nozzle X having machining issues. It was funny, they fixed things based on my input, like because they were having the nozzle down when it was getting coated, and it was getting an actual the nozzle diameter was changing from this little fluff of the coating. So they flipped it. So they did things based on my stuff, but people are still like, yeah, but you bashed E3D. I'm like, somebody has to. Someone has to like be like, this is dumb. Like, why can't we make this better?
As I said, I mean, and sadly, guys like us really don't get the opportunity to say this is what's wrong, fix it, and have something done.
Yeah, well, I just don't have the tact to do it nicely. Yeah. Like when I see something that's dumb, I'm literally like, "This is dumb."
This is dumb.
And if it's on Twitter, I have to say it's dumb in 280 characters, which is literally like, why? This is how. Why can't we fix this? This is shitty. And then Twitter is the worst medium to have an intellectual conversation on an engineering topic.
I was lost last night when I was trying to talk about the BTT thing. I had no idea who the hell I was replying to. Yeah. So I was like, but you know, I got criticized for saying that my videos are long. I'm like, I'm a one-man crew, one leg, hopping around trying to do all these different camera angles and then trying to compile while I'm having a full-time job. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I would never.
I am now.
Yeah. So yeah, it almost feels that way.
See, because I had time today to make logos.
Yeah, I like them.
No, like I had a critique today on the Joseph Bruce video, and they're like, "You squandered your opportunity," and you had he listed all these things I did wrong. I'm like, then make your own channel, make your own video, get your own guests, and show me how. Like
you got your first stream.
Well, it's funny. It was I sent Joseph the link to subscribe, and he goes, "Oh, who are you going to interview?" I'm like, "Anybody in the industry." He goes, "Like me." He goes, "If you want to." He goes, "Let's do it tomorrow." I'm like, it was like midnight my time. I'm like, okay.
You're like, that was
okay.
Yeah, because I was sitting streaming last night.
I had a hand to you. I was not expecting Prusa to be your first one. Congratulations, man.
I'm sitting there last night, me, Devin, and Robbie Mack, and who else? We were just sitting there. I'm streaming. I'm like, I was bored. And I'm like, all of a sudden on Twitter, I'm like, huh. And everybody's like, what? I'm like, so Warkaki just got Prusa apparently to be the first one to do a show. And they're like, and Devin was like, oh yeah, I just saw that. I'm like, yeah. I was like, if you go back and watch the stream, I'm pretty sure we were going back and forth. I'm like, I hope he doesn't fuck this up.
Honestly, I love how you did it at the beginning, you know, and the comment of Did you get his password?
Yeah.
That was great. Honestly, I thought that was like, I like how you went through it and he stumbled on the '80s video. I was thinking,
the 80s.
to me, it would have been better off dead, but that was me.
Goonies.
What's it?
Goonies.
Yes, that was great too. So
Goonies is always a good choice.
Oh, Lost Boys. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Lost Boys were great.
Why is that just not on all the time on TV?
Oh,
Instead, we get Overboard or
Stand By Me.
I don't mind Overboard. I just don't like that they redid it. Like again,
I didn't watch the redo.
Movies they just need to let go.
I mean, why would you redo any Goldie Hawn movie? Like you're not replacing Goldie Hawn.
No.
Just don't even try. Like again, like why redo Ghostbusters? Let's just leave the franchise alone.
If you can't get the original cast to come back, don't redo it.
Yeah, and 2 of the 4 of them are dead.
Yeah.
So,
wait, what?
Wait.
No,
one is dead. And sorry.
Yeah,
and the other one's retired.
Yeah, Bill Murray didn't want to be really involved, but even though he did a cameo. So
yeah.
So all 3 did a cameo, but it still didn't do anything for the film. So
of course it didn't, because it was a terrible plot.
Hey, Viking.
All right, Viking. Nice to see you, sir.
Yeah.
Swippity swap. Yeah, no, it's tough. Like again, it goes back to when you guys said like you have to find your niche, and like I don't have a niche. I'm not an interviewer. That's not my job.
Well, your niche is your gift is your ability to bullshit, and that's what works for you. That's not even like I'm not even trying to be a dick. I'm just saying like your ability to just sit around and bullshit with someone, like your ability to just have a conversation about anything is really what's
hilarious is that was the same comment my teachers made to me in middle school and in college, because I was that student in school that they were like, did you start your paper? It's due tomorrow. I'm like, I have not started my paper. And then I would come in the next day and I'm finishing my paper in class, like before the bell rings. And I turned in and they're like, you seriously finished this right before class?
I did mine on the bus. So they knew that with the bump. They're like,
and they're like, I don't know how you wrote a, like the 1,000 page, whatever, number of words that you need. I'm like, I don't know how you did that in that short of time. I was like, I can stretch out words and sentences out of nowhere. And I write like I speak and I speak like I write, which, grammatically is horrible sometimes. But on the fly, just thinking of something stupid to say is an unfortunate and also fortunate gift. I think it comes from way too many 80s movies.
Yeah.
Like you just end up learning how to like especially in horror movies when the acting is just shit and just someone is trying so hard to make the movie good. I try to be that guy.
Hey, to point this out, when you asked about Michael Myers and Jason, did you see my comment in there that there was a video that someone did of the fight between the two?
Yeah, I've seen that video.
Yeah, I thought that was really well done.
Yeah,
so,
the new Mortal Kombat videos are awesome. The new little redos of horror movies have been awesome.
Oh man, I should.
YouTube's just a playground for my pop culture loves.
Man, I did some spoofs of films was for one of my old companies. I did like the holiday videos, and I wanted to try like cloning and After Effects and lightsabers, and oh my god, I'll never do that again with trying to do lightsabers. I mean, it was fun, but man, and that's when I did some 3D. I used to dabble in the 3D with Animation Master, and I did some 3D work in the movie too for it. And I should post one of these videos. It was we did one called E.T. the Extra Tasty.
All I can remember from E.T. is the spoof of it, Mac and Me.
Oh my god!
Oh god!
And that totally summarizes the current movie situation. You've got E.T., Spielberg movie, high production value, good writing, emotional, strings being pulled, and then you've got Mac and Me.
Yeah.
Oh. And that's literally the current movie situation. Funny, a lot of people make lame comments like, oh my gosh, look at all these bad reruns or redos. Like when there was Twister, they made those other tornado movies. When there was when Pacific Rim came out, there was all those Pacific Rim style movies. I mean, that's been going on forever. It just, you didn't watch those. Like when I was a kid, I did. Like I'd be like, oh, cool, there's E.T. Shoot, there's a movie like E.T. called Mac and Me. I'm gonna watch it. I'm like, all right, that wasn't as good.
Oh,
That's just
man.
hilarious.
Man, my family when we were kids were
There's
all
so
into the
many
horror movies.
shark spoof movies.
Oh my god, I haven't watched any Sharknado.
They're
movies.
good.
Oh.
The
Are they?
Sharknadoes are good. That's
My
the sad
daughter
part.
is like my one daughter is just addicted to
Sharktopus versus
Sharknado. Like,
Mega something, Mega
she
Croc.
sat down. She sat down at my mother-in-law's one day, and they had like a marathon of Sharknado. Just 1, 2, 3,
Okay,
4.
I got
They were
not watched.
There's
like
5
6
of them.
Did you
Yeah,
watch
Five or six.
5 or
Did
6?
you watch the Megalodon one?
Yeah, I've
I
seen
thought
all
that
of
was
those.
entertaining.
There's 4 Jaws movies.
Yeah.
The last one had Cuba Gooding Jr. in it.
Tremors, yes, Tremors. Oh my god.
Oh,
Kevin,
they made a new Tremors last year.
Yeah,
or 2
Kevin
years
Bacon
ago.
was in it again.
They made the one where like they were little walkers, right? They
Yeah.
were,
Yeah, that was
like
Tremors
that head
3.
with a set of legs that just ran
Yeah,
around.
then they had the
3.
Snow Tremors and
I love Tremors 3.
oh, Tremors 3. I mean, think
I
how many
am
Piranha movies they
completely
made.
out
my
of
God.
5
ammo.
Piranha movies.
I did not want to go into water after watching Piranha. So
The original, the 80s one?
Oh, okay. So I was in the 80s. I watched like the original Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, Halloween, and so when then my mother and father would be like, "Hey, it's time for you to go walk the dog," and I'm like,
No, it's not.
are you kidding me?
Yeah, don't
And now I
watch
love
Child's
the show.
Play when you're under 10 years old.
And now,
Because literally any action figure is like, is that going to come to life and kill me in my sleep?
oh, especially like when you watch was it Annabelle or in shit.
Oh.
Jesus.
All of the Annabelle, I forget the series. There's an Annabelle series. Like they've been around for a long time, like
Yeah.
70s, since the 60s or 70s.
Any doll
They-
is just
Yeah.
like and clown, just like
Especially clowns and dolls.
Poltergeist.
Clowns-
Oh,
Yeah, and Cabbage Patch Kids made a doll that was My Buddy, which
Yes.
looked exactly like the toy. I was like,
So my buddy.
Yeah,
really?
they had My Buddy and Kid's sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what they tried to do it off of for Child's Play was the My Buddy doll.
I don't know which one came first, but either way, I was traumatized. Howard the Duck traumatized me. I was like, ducks are scary.
Oh my God.
Yeah, ducks will try to, come down from space.
They'll try to take your virginity without your
You know what ducks will
acknowledgement.
do. We don't need to go into that.
Scientifically accurate DuckTales.
Scientifically
Oh,
accurate
I now like
DuckTales.
with DuckTales. I'm like, oh my god! Now I'm forever scarred with that video. Now,
Well, he does one for everything. He's got a scientifically accurate Spider-Man and scientifically accurate,
Yeah, I saw that the other night.
you guys haven't watched the ducking video, have you?
No.
That will scar you for more. That's real life.
Small
Stuff.
Soldiers is
Don't
amazing.
watch the ducking video.
Freddy Krueger also made it hard to sleep, and Freddy Krueger
Oh, yeah.
3 was the best one.
I liked Dream Warrior.
The second one?
Was that the second one? I thought that was the third one, Dream Warriors.
Okay, it was the one with the giant like Freddy Krueger snake was the third one.
Okay, yeah. So
The
I
one
liked
with the
I liked the concept of Dream Warriors, right?
the one with
Where-
the non-heterosexual scenes was the second one. That was the one that was like everyone that's a movie fanatic is like,
What?
why is the actor making this guy dance in his underpants? Why is he always touching this other guy a lot?
The director.
Well, I think I just like the fact that in your dreams that they've realized they could be the super,
Oh yeah, that is the third one. Yeah, that's
yeah,
the third one.
it was Dream Warriors. Okay,
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like it made a lot of sense. I was like,
Yeah.
man, that's a great idea, but it wasn't that well executed. Because,
Well,
yeah,
once you get to the third one, the series, like there's only a few horror movies that had the budget by the third one. I mean, they had the budget, but they realized they didn't have to really up production. So, like Friday the 13th had like a shit production for the first one.
oh yeah,
made
because they
a,
went out and bought
classic.
them.
Dude,
Yeah.
the third
But the third one was the best one. Again,
Army of Darkness is the best
Oh,
third
Army.
movie
Oh God, yes.
oh yeah,
that was
in
awesome.
a
It's just what
third
we-
horror series.
Yeah, it's just what we
Shop
call
smart.
horror, baby.
Shop as smart.
I think we're all waiting for the movie because they want to do an Expendables version of horror movies.
Oh,
Get
and,
all the
the guy from Jesus. So the guy from Army of Darkness and all that, he wanted to do.
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell wanted all the good guys versus all the bad guys.
yeah.
So it'd have been Bruce Campbell and like kids from, Friday the 13th and kids from Camp Camp Blood.
All I'm saying is Bruce
Camp
Campbell
Crystal
is,
Lake.
Yeah. Bruce Campbell is a legend in that whole genre. There's no, like, everybody knows who the hell he is. And then Burn Notice was one of those shows that just kind of helped cement the fact that he cemented the fact that you could go from being like a B movie star to an A-list. Just, I mean, like, I love the fact that like he, like when you like if you've ever seen him talk about like when they were filming some of that stuff, like before Army of Darkness, when he was doing like the Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, they were talking about some of the scenes where they took like the big old like cameras that they used back in the day. And forgive me, I'm not an audio guy or a video guy, so I don't know a lot about like the cameras from back in the day, but they took one of those big, like, the big Panavision, like the big film cam or big, reel-to-reel cameras, and they mounted it on a 2x4 and had one guy on either side just running towards an object, and then they would lift it up over the object as they'd pass by and then come back down and keep running, and it was just two guys pushing this camera along.
The third Friday the 13th was the very first movie to bring in the newest 3D technology. All horror movies have been the start of 3D movies. So
yeah, they've always tried to reach outside the realm of what was possible by, and they were what kind of push it. Plus, we love blood and guts and gore and horror, so we tend to spend more money on that.
Can you guys name the 3 things you should never do in a horror movie?
Sleep with anyone.
That's one.
Be a different race than white.
No,
never say "I'll be right back."
That's right.
You never separate the group.
Oh shit.
Yeah, well, I'm going off of according to stream.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going according
to.
You never
sleep with them.
Yeah, you never
Scream
say
was
"I'll
good.
be right back," or you never say "I'll be right back."
The spoofs on Scream were really good.
And you never go upstairs.
Yeah,
that should be in there. It's not in there. But
never take a shower.
Yeah, never take a shower. That's
like in the Scream movies, how they educated in the horror movie what not to do, right? So
it's like, hey, look, I'm running right past the front door that's wide open, and instead of going right out the door, I'm going to go left up the staircase.
Yeah.
It's like the car's right outside the stairs. It's right outside at the bottom of the stairs running. There's nobody in it, nobody around it.
The Geico commercial. I thought that was
Hellraiser. We're all like hiding around the saw blades, and the guy's there with his chainsaw, and he's just
yep.
How about you don't put yourself in that situation to begin with?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hellraiser, classic, man.
Dude, the what are those name of the other
the Pinhead?
It was Hellraiser, Pinhead, but then he had his
Pinhead, and then he has the Deadites, or not the Deadites.
Yeah, there's something ites.
The damn it, I gotta look it up.
I haven't seen that movie.
You've never seen Hellraiser?
In like 20 years.
Oh man, dude,
I'm not a big horror movie fan. They always just annoy me.
They can be. I watch them for the amusement factor because
just how you should.
Something about the guy.
Like, if you're a practical effects guy,
horror movie.
Cenobites, yeah,
the Cenobites.
And but I mean, the best practical effects always came from these horror movies. Like, if you look at like the pedigree of some of the best movies, they always had these guys who started doing practical effects in horror movies because it was just like, how can we make blood coming out of someone or this cut look so realistic? It could scare someone, and I'm like, I'm so freaking tired of the digital horror movies. I'm like, I can tell 100% it's not real. There's some movies that I've watched that are horror movies that I'm like, I can't tell if that's a real cut or a fake cut. Like, I know it's fake, but my brain is telling me that looked real. Like when people get split apart and it was actually guts and gore and like pudding or whatever they were doing.
Did you ever watch the FX movie?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wasn't he in the beginning of that doing a horror movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them start doing horror movies because it's like a playground.
FX2.
You get paid crap, but you get to have like full realm.
Yeah.
Of
they're gonna pay you garbage, but they're gonna give you $100,000 to play it, dabbling in blood and guts.
What was that one? Something house or something? It's like
the glass house.
Yes, glass house.
The one where like the guy stops in the middle of the door and the two glass doors come together.
13 rooms.
Was
13 ghosts. 13
ghosts.
No, I remember the.
Oh, I forgot all about.
It looked like a Rubik's cube type thing.
Oh, that was
The
that was
cube?
Hellraiser.
No. It was a house. It was a house on there. Something house.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was a horror movie. My wife didn't know it was a horror movie, so
House.
Was that the house at the end of the road or something like that?
There was a horror movie called House.
Oh my gosh, brain dead.
Oh my god, what the hell is that?
That was it was a dude from Greatest American Hero.
And it was like these.
I can only think of 13 Ghosts with Matthew Lillard because that was a glass house.
yeah, and that's the only one I can think of, and that was
House on the Hill. House on the Hill, or no? House in the Woods.
House on Haunted Hill. Or, wait, no.
There's two House on Haunted Hill. There's the original with Vincent Van Price.
No,
Vincent Price. Sorry, I keep calling Vincent Van Ghoul because of Scooby Doo and the 13 Ghosts. So he's Van Ghoul.
Not Cabin in the Woods. Which one was it?
It was not Paranormal Activity.
Cabin in the Woods was good.
House.
Oh, Rabid Grannies is on Amazon Instant Prime right now, so I highly recommend everyone watch Rabid Grannies.
Rabid Grannies.
Yeah, it's exactly how it sounds.
Did you ever see House, the movie?
Yeah.
House? With the dude from Greatest American Hero? God, that movie cracked me up. It was so funny.
Most of the horror movies crack me up. They're
Well,
the one-liners in horror
more
movies.
of a Maji movie than a horror movie. I mean,
Jin was fucked up. Oh,
After Maul got done with him, yeah.
What about The Ring?
The Ring was messed up. I prefer the original Japanese
the Japanese
Ringu,
Ringu,
because that was what they stole the idea from. Just like the old boy, like the actual Asian old boy is fucked up. Like old boy's fucked up, but the original old boy is fucked up. Poltergeist, dude, that's messed up too. Like that wasn't so bad because Indian burial grounds don't scare me. Like we've got them here in town. Like I can walk to an Indian burial mound.
Where'd you get Mecha Hitler?
Mecha Hitler.
Yeah, from Wolfenstein 3D.
Yeah, good old Wolfenstein from back in the day.
Yeah,
dude could kill you in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
You're just noticing my branding.
Here's a question. I'm gonna throw out a cheat code for a game. I want to test you guys' knowledge. I want to see if you guys know the game.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start.
No. This is going to be a PC game, and it's going to be an older one, and it is IDKFA. If you typed IDKFA on the keyboard,
Doom.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah,
old school Doom.
Yes,
yeah. I remember getting the 3 discs from CompUSA to throw on my computer.
CompUSA.
Yeah. Okay.
I too remember Circuit City.
Yeah. So 14.4 FOD connected to someone else's computer, and he killed me. It was the first person shooter I've ever did, and that's when your corpses would just lay on the ground. And I must have only killed him once, and I saw like 60 of mine dead all over the place. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Oh man, there's that Australian horror movie too from the 80s. I think it was called Drive-In.
Christine
was really good.
How about
Christine had a whatever that's called, a cameo in Carrie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How about Maximum Overdrive?
Came alive.
Maximum Overdrive was fucked up too. Like,
yeah,
look at all these. Everything's coming to life. It's a robot.
Yeah, there's an asteroid passing by the planet. It caused some weird electrical disturbance, and now every vehicle wants to kill you.
Ooh, everyone should watch Motel Hell. That's also on Amazon Instant Prime right now.
70.
It's where they turn everyone into beef jerky and summer sausage.
No. Oh, I've seen that one.
Yep.
What was the one with Christy Swanson in it from back in the day? It had Christy Swanson in it, and she played a girl that died. The guy was into like robotics and electronics, and she died, and he took her body and put the robot, like the robot inside her, and she came back, and she like went nuts, and like you always see her walking around like this, and she was gonna like. She grabbed a basketball and chucked it at the neighbor lady's head, and her head exploded.
That sounds awesome, but I've not seen that. It reminds me of Frankenhooker, which is a hilarious horror movie where this guy's girlfriend dies and he collects body parts from hookers and makes super crack. So he gives the super crack to the girls and they all die, but then they start exploding. So he has to take just bits and pieces and makes his wife alive again.
Okay then.
You got to work with me here, bro.
Yeah, come on, bro.
You watch some weird ass movies, buddy.
Yeah, horror movies like Pumpkinhead, Silent
well,
Night, Deadly Night, the Christmas horror movie.
Yeah. Okay, so the movie I was talking about was Cabin in the Woods.
Okay.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah,
That's the one with the microwave scene, right? Where he sticks the kid's head in the microwave. Oh no, that's House at the end of the.
Yeah. There's also a horror movie called Microwave, where this guy like loves microwaves, starts killing people. Fright Night, Day of the Dead.
I did not realize that Christy Swanson was as old as she really is.
Oh yeah.
Did not realize she's 51. Did not know that.
Oh my God, cheap exact memories, man. Christy Swanson, man.
Yeah.
Did you see the original Buffy?
Yeah, the original Buffy. Yep. She was also Ferris Bueller's Day Off. She played Simone. Remember she was like that whole scene where like Bueller, she's like, I heard from my brother's cousin, sister, whatever it was, like she went that long spiel that Ferris passed out.
Reanimator. Everyone should also watch Reanimator. I forgot about that one.
It's the last house on the left that has the
Slumber Party
microwave scene.
Massacre. Sleepaway Camp was messed up too. Maniac Cop, that was also messed up. I'm just looking at the list of like 50 Gremlins. I don't really consider The Fly a horror movie. I call that sci-fi, but sci-fi horror. I mean, it is creepy.
Have anyone seen Hostel?
Hostel's fucked up.
I haven't seen any of them.
I saw that in theater.
Silent House.
The Fog is number 8. I mean, I understand, like, it's good, but
the original one, right? That's
the John Carpenter's Fog.
Yeah, that was good. I remember watching that.
Deadly Friend. That was the name of the movie. It was called Deadly Friend with Christy Swanson.
From like 63.
I'm still always surprised they put Alien as like one of the best horror movies, and I'm like, I still feel it's sci-fi, but it is scary.
Sci-fi.
Oh my
sci-fi
God,
horror.
that was another one. Go walk the dogs at night. I'm like, my parents, I thought was just evil. Every time I watched a horror movie, I had to go walk the dogs at like 9 p.m. And so,
being a child sucked because like I know my generation, it was like a horror movie was made like every week.
Yeah.
Like if you had like a dollar theater or one of the cheaper theaters, you can see horror movies for days. Now it's like we get like one decent horror movie every couple of years.
The problem was it was like all the like Blair Witch and Paranormal Activity ones kind of ruined it for horror movies. Yeah. Because it's like, this
found footage.
Yeah. I'm like, come on.
It worked once.
Candyman was awesome.
I saw that in the theaters. That did freak me out, man.
And I live near there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know where Cabrini Green is. Like, I know it's where it's not anymore. It's gone, but
there's still the row houses on Green Street.
Yeah.
I drove in the city a couple of years ago. I thought it was all gone, but then I drove down Green Street and I took actually a picture. It still says Cabrini Green there.
Yeah. The main complex is gone. Rockford took about half of the people from Cabrini Green and we put them in the prospects.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we call things prospects when we just dump people and go, fend for yourselves. I'm like, it's not really prosperous.
Prospects?
So you in Rockford?
Projects.
What?
I thought they were called the projects.
No. We don't call it the projects. We do have an area called the projects, but we call it the prospects. Like there's an area of town that like it's on the far southwest side of town, and people really don't live there. Like it's an older, like much older section of town. It used to be more country, but now people just kind of moved. Like everyone's moved east, so they kind of redo the homes, and then like here's a home, and here's an initial chunk of money, but then they just leave them. Like, but they have like a Crusader clinic over there, so a hospital that like is free for most people, are very, very inexpensive, and there's stores and shopping and stuff. So it's supposed to like take them from an area of complete like poorness and put them in an area where it's like you have a chance to be prosperous. But they leave, they just ditch them. Like I don't consider that very prosperous. It's like, yeah, here's a house, you don't have to pay for it, and here's some money. Like, and it's very little money. It's not like enough to live off of. But then they have nothing. It's like no one wants to hire them. They're not given a job. Like what?
Yeah, I mean, you go back to the old Cabrini Green area, and it's just very expensive condos now.
Yeah,
you know, it's like wow.
Oh, it's really expensive property. Like Chicago property is like if they had their way, they would just demolish everything where poor people are. Like if they're not making like more than like 60 grand a year, they just trash the buildings and then put like expensive ass condos in its place.
Oh, I mean, you look at the West Loop. I mean,
oh
god, it's ridiculous money there now. I mean, I wish I would have bought just a flat there for $30,000.
Back in the day,
you could have sold it for 10 times as much.
Yeah, see, hostels messed up because people in Europe actually have like it didn't make sense to me. Like what's a hostel? Like, is it like a hotel? No. Like now that I've learned, like I watched it and it was messed up, but now that I've watched it, I know what a hostel really is.
Yeah, I forgot to watch it, so don't ruin it too much for me. So, is it on any of the streaming
decent series? It's probably on Prime.
Okay, I'd have to take a
because
look.
Prime has been my best for horror movies. If not, there's a horror movie Netflix called Shudder.
Okay.
SHUDDER. It's all it does is horror movies 24/7. Like it's Netflix. It has a live streaming, so you can just hit play and just watch whatever they're streaming at the time. But it has new and like its selection is mostly 2000s and newer, which I would consider Hostel to be in. They don't have my favorite section, like, but they do have a lot of European horror movies. Like there's some like really cool ones from Norway that came out. I forget what it was called. Yeah, llama. But yeah, it was actually pretty cool. It's only like $5 a month or $8 a month for Shudder.
Yeah, I tried watching. Was it Rec or REC? I think it is, or something.
Oh yeah, that movie's weird.
Yeah, but it was all I watch a lot of my movies on the train to and from work, and it's really hard to do subtitled movies on the train.
Yes,
so I watched Apocalypto on the train on iPhone 5.
That's a good movie.
But I watched did all the subtitles on a small phone.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You're so lucky that you have a train, but they're also I would not want to be on it all the time.
Yeah, I live right next door to it for the train station, so it's not too bad. But still, it's nice be able to have a Metro Beer 30 on the way home from work, and I get totally freaking lit. And I don't have
and then take the Metro home.
As long as I can make it down the damn stairs, I'm good. But sometimes I've had to go down with the crutches, gone down the little hill instead because I didn't trust myself down the stairs. So.
Yeah, because I work with Oscar Mike a lot, and a lot of the guys there are injured vets. So I work with a lot of guys that have like that one has no leg, that one has no legs, that one has no arm or no limbs at all.
Yeah.
So
it was really heartbreaking. At 15. People are like, oh, how did you adjust to having your leg amputated? Now, I lost it to cancer, if anyone wants to know. So when, I always had a pretty positive outlook on it, but I went to Rehabilitation Institute of Chicago with my prosthetic, and I don't wear one now, but it's like you realize how good you have it compared to other people.
Yeah.
And it's just a leg, man. It's okay. Yeah. I mean, when you see how many, I saw burn victims, I saw people that had, like you were saying, no limbs at all. I'm like, I have it a lot better than others, so. But,
those prosthetics are so expensive, though, man. Since I work with Oscar Mike, they're like, a running leg is like $100,000.
Oh yeah, there was a robotic one I wanted, and it was like $150,000. I'm like, I lost a ton of weight to try to get in, get into the system, and they said nope, because you haven't been wearing one, and I'm like, you got to start from scratch. I'm like.
Yeah. Vacuum forming new appendages onto your body and making sure the suction's correct.
And I don't have much of a residual limb left, man. So people don't understand. My father-in-law, he's like, every year, why doesn't John have a prosthetic?
Yeah.
Because they suck. They don't realize. They watch the Olympics and thinking that everyone could do it.
Yeah.
You know?
I can definitely
Hey,
from
Llama, tell us how you
experience.
feel.
Yeah. From experience of meeting these guys, there's guys like Earl Granville, who's like one of the big names in the injured vets and stuff. He has he's above the knee amputee.
Yeah, it's like me.
And he has to have that giant like socket thing built, and it's constantly getting infected.
Bye, Llama.
Bye, Llama.
Bye, Llama.
Let me pat you on the head. Bye, little fella.
I got to order some. I'm gonna order from you, so I need your Twitter, so I know how to order your filament.
Oh, that's Dave.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry.
Dave bolted out.
Dave is asleep. He's in the green room.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Dave bolted out.
You just posted a minute ago.
Yeah, well.
Oh, Dave's easy enough to find. Go to printed.
Yep.
I'm around.
Printed Solid.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Hit up the Jesse. That's what you want to buy when you go to Printed Solid. Buy the Jesse. The hell with everybody else. Buy Jesse.
Yeah, the constant thumping causes the bone to start to do weird shit, and they're always doing surgery to graft the bone. And
well, the problem is that they said that I wasn't going to have any feeling in the stump after amputation. You guys have all your limbs intact. How do you know?
Yeah.
I had like 3 days or 4 days to prepare for my leg to be amputated.
Oof.
So, and it's like I didn't know what was going to be worse: waking up with it gone and not knowing that it happened, or preparing for it to be gone. So, but I not only that freaking cup like stabs you right next to your testicles because the rest on the inside of your hip.
Yeah.
And then you wear this big ass belt to help it from not falling off in case you lose something. So it's like it's just an absolute fucking nightmare to wear.
Yeah, like
for above the knee amputee. I always wished I was a below the knee amputee, but
everybody does. That's an amputee. Like,
yeah,
even get the girls. Like, Noah, the head of Oscar Mike, he's paralyzed from the chest down, or I guess like about the chest down.
Mm-hmm.
He's considered a quad because he doesn't have full hand motion. Like, he can move his hands, but he doesn't have it's more like a claw, like sort of kind of deal. He's always joking. He's like, man, the amputees always get the girls. Nobody wants to date the quads.
Yeah.
So
I did date a girl with one arm before. I told her that between the two of us, we could drive a stick shift. So, and she did not have the same attitude as me. So I knew that relationship wasn't going to work out.
Yeah.
But it's
you can't have a sense of humor about, yourself, then bye.
And she was born without it. So I mean, it was like,
you would think she would have more time to kind of adapt. This isn't the ignorance, but it's like, you're born without it. You've heard the jokes, funny. Yeah. You'd have more time to adapt and get the thick skin, or you'd be the kind of person who, like me, I was born with a big nose. So I enjoyed, you want to rip on me for my big nose? Well, guess what? I can do it too. Now I stole your thunder and they're laughing with me and at you. So,
well, one of my videos that I posted, I was on a disability group on Facebook, and I said, well, why is this guy with one leg on a ladder? He's an idiot. And this one lady just ripped into me. And I said, no, that's me.
Yeah. I'm the guy on the ladder, lady.
Why are you calling yourself an idiot? Oh, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. One thing I do love about is like when I'm working, in the garage, and then I hear.
And you're stuck behind Mecha Hitler.
Well, no, I hear the glass cooling, or it's cooling, and you hear all the plastic just
cracking.
Yeah. Oh my God, it just sounds really cool. So.
Oh yeah, Doc Ock is almost going to be done. I'm printing the claws in Jesse Gunmetal Gray.
Yeah, speaking of Jesse Gunmetal Gray, there it is.
Right. That's about how much is left in my spool.
Here's the crazy part. Ready for this? I mean, here, we all know what this is. We've all seen this.
Yes.
That was printed in the Jesse Gunmetal Gray. And here's where I pulled the stupid. I don't know if I showed you guys this or not. I think I've talked to, Chris Travis. I know we talked about this the other night, but I pulled the stupid. And when I was trying to remove the supports from the inside, I heard a crack in the wrong spot. And it just happened to crack this side completely off. You can see it right there. And what I ended up doing was the infill I just did regular old like a zigzag infill. So it was nice thin strips of PLA all the way up. So I took it and I started breaking. I'm like, I wonder. So I heated it up with a torch just a little bit, and I started kind of mushing it back together. And then I took some of those little strips and started heating them up and touched it back together. And I was like, it's solid. You know what I mean? And it was just, I was like, it doesn't have to look perfect because again, Scorpion didn't always win. He did get his ass kicked once in a while. I'm pretty sure I remember in the game a few times where he got kicked in the face and this thing went flying. So it's more game accurate.
Yeah. So you see
It's
that?
battle damaged.
Yes.
This is that awesome Kodak filament. Look at that string shit, man.
That's some gorgeous like what is that? That's angel hair, right? Angel hair pasta.
Oh my god. It's honestly the worst filament.
Probably wet.
Look at that.
Because I doubt that they're.
This is at 0.28 at 100 speed, but still, it's bad. Okay. I mean, I was using.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
If I didn't,
Brian Vines.
Mr. Vines, how are you doing, sir?
So Dave always shows up for a Dave show off his filament party.
Yeah, it's like we're all kind of just like, hey, check it out. Look at all Dave's cool filament that he makes.
Yeah, well, I need to order for me, Dave. So
Every
you really
printer
do,
here
I
has
mean-
Jesse in it already loaded, besides the one printing atomic carbon fibers. Yes.
Okay, so I got to say this honestly. I thought Chris was kind of like blowing smoke up everybody's ass when he was talking about how the golden winter, like the Jesse golden winter is, but this is ridiculous how gold this thing is. Now, I understand why it's so damn expensive for him to make it, because when you actually print with this stuff, the amount, like when you're looking at it, you're like, it's got some flake to it. It's got some glitter in there. When you put it in the light,
stupid flaky.
it's just like boom in your face. I mean, I was like, holy hell. And it prints. It's actually, you would think for as much glitter is in there, you would think it might have some issues printing. It prints.
Oh, that's
because this is Filamentum Gold Happens. This
Yeah.
is $20 less.
Yeah, it's $20 less, and it just looks more gold. You know.
Yeah. This looks yellow.
Yeah.
And it's also fucking $35 for 750 grams.
Here's what my
made up
by the way,
price.
Dave, just so you know, my buddy, the one that is hopefully gonna be ordering from you here soon, he was doing the Profi box. He was getting the 2 rolls for the like $45 or whatever the hell it was. He goes, you think Dave would do like a subscription, like a monthly subscription thing? I'm like, I don't know. I know right now Dave's having a hell of a time with being able to keep up with production because he's kind of a one-man show. I said, and he goes, oh, I was watching that stream that night that Dave was in there. That's the guy that I said, yeah, he was in there for like 20 hours in the running for 20 hours. I was like, so he's having a hell of a time right now getting people in there to actually run the line for him. I said, but Batman. Nice.
It works even better with the Mecha Hitler.
Yeah, you got Mecha Hitler in the corner.
Hey, that's here.
Yes. Maker Box. I know, Mr. Buttram. I know. I told him that. I said, there's Maker Box, but he wants something similar to the Profi box where it's like you pay a fee and you get like full rolls. Not
like the old Geek Box used to be at Maker Geek.
just like it was one of those things where it's like where if Dave's got maybe one film that's not selling good this month and he's got a couple of rolls in there.
I wish there was Dave told me I wish I had a color that wasn't selling.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know that's your problem, Dave, because I've been to the site and I see that like I've got 4. You got like 3 in stock now. Now, like right now, I think you had like 6 in stock when I was looking earlier, but I know that ain't gonna last.
That's only because I had like 2 days where I worked 16 or 18 hours each day, and I was able to get like 4 or 5 done in a day.
Yeah. But I told him, I said, if I get a chance to talk to Dave, I'll mention it because like I know that I would be more than happy to throw in like $20-$40 a month, $45-$50 a month for a service like where it's like just 2 random spools show
It'd
up.
actually be kind of fun to do a $20 box and it's 2 like 400 gram spools.
Yeah.
Like 2 half spools.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, like with the Profi box, I really liked it until I got like the same 10 colors over and over again.
Oh, that's
like,
what with Maker Geeks. It was like I kept getting white. I was like,
yeah,
okay.
You know how many light blues I have? I have 6 light blues, and I don't print. I have nothing to print in light blue. Like, so I used it. I used 2 spools of it to print PPE. Like, it just blue, and it's 35. Well, I mean, it is 35 you buy normally, but it was $25 for some light blue that I'm never gonna use. Like, I'm looking at my shelf of Filament 1, and it's literally I love the glitter stuff, the glint, and then I've got like. I got a natural. Like, okay, that doesn't use very often. I've got 4 blacks. That's cool. I don't really print.
I have 2 rolls. That's all I have right now. But you guys have a lot more printers than I do. So
well, I had the Profi box from day 1. Like the first day. Same thing with like Alien box. Like I did the Alien 3D box like the second week or the second month. I've had it ever since. But that one's samples and something to do. Yeah. This is just 2 spools, a Stroop waffle, or like a piece of candy, and like some $5 items. So like,
yeah,
this last one was like just a volcano nozzle. Probably not even made by E3D, but it was a volcano nozzle.
Yeah, that was that's why my buddy, he was like, you know what? He goes, honestly, he goes, I canceled it. He's like, he was getting the full box. I was actually just getting the little like the mini box, getting a couple of samples and that. And I dropped that. I was like, you know what? For what I'm paying for this, I'm like, I can pay more and go with. So right now, I signed up for Josh's box. I'm getting the Alien boxes now. Yeah. And I was like, for me, I was like the little project, the actual group project. It's like, don't get me wrong, it's badass that this was what they threw in there.
It's not really a project; it's a group print.
It's a print. Yeah, it's a group print. And like I said, I mean, like with Josh, at least it's a project. You know what I mean? It's here's a little like the last one was the little moisture, the moisture sensor.
Yep.
And it's like you print some parts, you put everything together, you run some code, and boom, you've got a little moisture tester. I don't necessarily know. I don't know what he's got going for this coming month, but again, he said it was another Arduino-based project. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you're getting, even if the whole thing he makes like $10-15 off of it himself for each box he sells, good on him. I mean, it's still, you feel like you're getting more for the money. You know what I mean? It just it feels like more than just a couple pieces of filament and then a pair of, like the mini box they threw in, not these, but they were the which ones were they? Damn it, help me out here. The Play-Dohs. They threw in a set of Play-Doh cutters in the mini box, and there's 4 filaments. You got 2 ASAs, 2 PLAs, and then a couple discount codes.
Push Plastics has a cool one because they have other materials besides PLA. So you can pick their actual Pro box, so you get like ASA, something like a full spool of ASA. What's funny is they say you might not get a full spool because they're giving you mostly like remnant stuff.
Yeah, it's just kind of like
my buddy who's done it since day 1 always gets like a full spool of everything. It's like sometimes it's 4 spools of just random stuff they can't sell, and I'm like, it'll be like PC ABS or PLA or PTG or ABS ASA, whatever nonsense that they want to do that day. So that one's been kind of fun. You got, of course, the OG Maker box, which is just samples. So, which I had to not do that one
and discount codes and stickers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but that's really what they are.
It was awesome in the beginning when I didn't have any idea what I was doing.
It's a good starter. It's a good starter box.
Yeah. Is that when MakerBox left, they did take my advice and they started up the Easy Box.
Yeah, that was just PLAs and stuff.
It was meant for people that aren't fancy printers, people that don't want to experiment.
Yeah.
But the regular MakerBox, it's not uncommon for them to do multiple glass fills or like even a peak or I mean, weird stuff that you would never see anywhere else.
Yeah, like the clay fill and plenty of glass fills, plenty of like weird nylons, which good luck.
Did you see several times gotten some filaments in there that you literally can't even buy? They just were never even, manufacturers come up with a whole new material because we got Dow and DuPont right up the street from us.
Nice.
And they come in and hang out and tell us everything. And they go, here, we just made this material. And we're like, what the hell is it? And we're like, we're not sure yet.
Print it.
But you should be able to print with it.
Yeah, extrude it, please. Yeah. Did you guys see the teaching text last video of the conductive filament?
No.
Yeah, he did a episode of that saying that he had a spool sitting around for a while, and that it's.
Oh yeah, I did see that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's talking about traces, but he makes these big blocks instead.
Yeah.
He goes on there and shows, and I watch. He's one of the ones I subscribe to and watch as soon as it comes out. I really like.
Instead of doing
I have
like
a novel typed out saying, you keep on talking about traces, but you're building game blocks out of these things with resistance.
The more mass this thing has, the more resistance you're going to wind up with.
Of course, it's going to fail.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
it's like print thin little strips. You're going to have resistance, yes, but you're not going to be having. You're not trying to pass that much current from point A to point B through that mass.
He's printing a printer, guys. Calm down. He's making a heat bed.
Yeah. Well,
it was
damn near look like it. I mean,
and videos are so technical and on point. And then that one, I'm like, I just deleted it. I didn't even bother because it was like, you know what? It was not worth my energy to and then have him say, well, it's because it was brittle. I say, and be like, well, how was I going to just take the plate off the bed and then use that? I mean, you're doing traces. So instead, he's doing big game blocks with a high resistance to it. So later,
Ninja Flex has a really awesome conductive.
You checking out their Viking later?
It's late.
It's early.
It's freaking like 5 a.m. for him.
It's late. It's early for him. There have been times where we're up till like 2 a.m. and he's still on here with us.
Yeah, and he's sick too.
He's just punking out on us. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
So what were you saying, David, about the conductive?
Ninja Flex has a really awesome conductive, flexible filaments.
Be good for making light up shirts.
I was thinking about redoing that video. Not to just say, not to go after him or anything, but do it a different way. You can say it like that. You know what's going to happen. There are going to be some fanboys that are going to attack. But if you say it as, hey, look, I understand you did it this way. Yeah. Now, here's how I did it. And this is my results. It's not an attack. I'm just explaining that the way you did it was your way. The thing is that I don't like redoing anyone's videos. I just do mine.
I'll do them all the time.
You're not like it wouldn't necessarily be doing it though. It would be a continuum.
Thicknesses to resistance to current. I mean, just really.
How to use? Just make a video called "How to Use Conductive Filament Correctly."
Yeah.
And just dig the knife in and twist it just a quarter turn.
Yeah, there's not enough data out there on it yet, so that'd be great to have just a pure data-driven video.
There's so many videos that are missing in the industry. Like review videos that actually strip apart the printer to take a look at the wiring inside to be like, is this even wired correctly?
Well, and when I do me dancing around printers, I mean, it's just there's a lot missing.
I mean, when I did my my upgrade, I'm like, the only thing that's original left in this electronics box is the wires. I mean, there's really nothing left except for the frame and the wires, and because I've replaced the whole guts of that thing. So I might as well just build my own printer for my next episode. So,
because I'd love to see someone actually review the printer's safety. Like when Joel had that like $100 resin printer, everyone was like, can you open up the electronics and like see how they wired it to make sure it's at least safe? And nobody does it. I'm like, if you're not competent enough to give me that information, please find me someone who is, because at this point I'm no longer excited about a review video unless it's comprehensive enough to tell me, okay, this printer's $200, but it might be a fire hazard. Like they tinned the ends and shoved them in the connector.
Yeah,
you shouldn't do that. So you might want to fix that when you get your printer. Like,
I got ridiculed on one of my Facebook posts on Crowley's page about my videos being too long. And I'm like, well, because I like getting technical in some of them, and that was the power supply. Look at that! Look at that thermistor.
Oh boy!
It's a little exploding.
And then because I took apart the mean well and put this Chinese one next to it. in my video. Yeah, and the meanwhile, wow, it's fully populated. You know, yeah,
It's not just a giant capacitor.
yeah, and then all these vents on the bottom are
Sealed.
plastic sheet
Yeah.
underneath.
Plastic.
Yeah, the Prusa ones did that too, and the new ones don't. Now they got a real company making them, like Delta. So
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna just, my 10-minute videos are the ones that aren't niche worthy.
And imagine how many people complain when you go, "This power supply is bad," and that's
Yeah.
all you said.
Yeah.
That's literally you're gonna have 500 complaints going like, "Well, why is it bad?"
Yeah, why
I
is
want
it
to know.
bad?
And
Tell
then
me more.
the 5 people who are like, "That's too long," are just morons. They're like, they just didn't want to hear that part. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, I get it. It's bad. I'll
Yeah.
buy a new one."
Yeah, no one would believe me. I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just release a damn video on it,"
Yeah.
because I did my rant video, and then I said, and I already had the parts, so I already knew what it looked like on the inside. I didn't say that. I already took it apart, So, and then I took apart the Meanwell. I knew I didn't even get it yet, but I just knew it was gonna be a lot better in the inside. So, and it's like, hey, if you're not willing to, when I get that, do my review, probably have to be late because I didn't get one for free of that 6SE. I'm gonna tear that whole fucking thing apart. So
I still want to know how it's connected because I know Corelli's gotten better at their wiring.
Yeah.
Like any cubic, I remember tearing apart that Linear Plus, going like every wire is just tinned and shoved into a crimp connector, like a clamp style connector. I'm like, I know it's not going to set. Like I remember posting it, and someone from England was like, "Well, I own one. It's never set on fire." I'm like, my point is, it's not that it is going to. I'm saying it might. And like anyone with any electronics background, know you don't tin a connector and shove it into a clamp, or a crimp. And it's not that hard. Like, and it would save them money to just either not tin it and shove it in there, or put an actual ferrule on the end of it and then put it in there.
Just smash it and go.
And, the 1 penny that they spent to do that is just nice because, and you'll explain it to them. Well, then it can heat up, and then when it heats up, the solder can soften, and then you've got more resistance, and then it starts, shrinking away from the contacts, more resistance, and then maybe fire. Like, I'm not saying it's going to start a fire. I'm going to say the possibility of so has now increased exponentially.
Well, yeah, there's a reason why thick gauge wire isn't soldered. It's crimped. So, and people don't understand that. I did a solder connector video on mine, but it was 14 gauge.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's like a real thick wire, and it was for speakers. So it's not like they're going to be.
It's not moving. And it's not pushing a lot of current. You're not. Yeah. It's like the when Prusa originally launched the Mark III, they were just soldering the ends of that non-silicone bendy wire directly to the 2 pads on the bed, which it's a 140 watt bed or some crazy thing.
I literally just replaced the non-silicone with silicone on that bed.
People were getting little mini fires, like little end cap back here was melting, or it would spark, or it would just like short the board. And Prusa eventually went to the connectors with the. Ooh, that's loud.
Yeah, it was me.
I used 15 gauge for that.
They went to they would crimp on those ring connectors and just screw it to the contacts. Like, thank the Lord Jesus. Like, every printer should be doing this. They shouldn't be soldering. Like, every printer I see from China is just cold soldering the ends of like non-silicone wire directly to these contacts on the back of a bed and going, "This is safe." And I'm like, until when? 1, the wire isn't meant to be bent. Number 2 is that solder could have creeped how far in the wire, making it. Oh Jesus! What the hell is that all about?
That's soldered traces, buddy.
Oh boy!
All hand soldered. Okay, when I showed this, people don't understand that. Okay, first off, I did work at Motorola. I ran what's called the Sensby solder stage, the solder reflow.
Yeah.
So there was the reflow for the surface mount, right? And then you had the Sensby solder, where it flows over for the through hole. Okay. Yep. I have a lot of experience with those. I ran those machines.
Yeah.
And when I see this shit, people don't understand. I showed the mean well bottom compared to this, and I'm like, this isn't supposed to look at it. Look at that jumper. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well,
that looks like literally like a piece of solder just fell off.
This is what's in the Ender 5 Plus.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny is they have a contract with Meanwell to get power supplies. Yet they're still going, we need to be under $500. Where are we gonna skimp on? Like, for the love of God, don't skimp on power supplies and cables.
Yeah.
Like, it won't run if that dies.
You
Like,
want to know where to skimp? Don't powder coat your frames, or don't coat your frames. You know. What I mean?
don't anodize the frame.
Just
send me.
Get raw. I mean, that right there is a couple bucks. There you go.
And that power supply was probably a couple.
That's what I'm saying. You can offset. You can offset. Just send me a bare frame. Don't put no color on it. Don't make it look all fancy, pretty.
But I mean, if you make enough of it, it's cheap. Like, it's not like reality is like, man, we don't buy enough extrusion that's black.
Yeah.
Like, I'm guessing they're buying this thing in the miles.
Yeah,
like kilometers and kilometers of the.
They're like, hey, can you just pump it straight out the factory and just keep it running right into ours? We'll just take it right from there.
When did I release that video of replacing that power supply? Let's see here.
Not today.
I did that 5 months ago. 5 months ago, and then you got all these other people that are just doing them just now.
I wish everyone would do that. Like, I love that Shep will take an Ender 3 no matter what era. He's like, okay, here's the new Ender 3 Pro. Let's see if it has thermal runaway. And he tests it, and they never have it enabled. Like, it's enabled, and it says kill on the screen.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually kill anything because they disabled. I don't know how they disable it. They're like, the Marlin that they're using has it completely enabled. Like, unless you fudge something in Marlin, like they remove the sanity check somewhere to let it compile. We're all sitting there like, okay, it says kill on the screen. But it's not killing anything. Like, who messed that up?
Well, again, and when you talk to Creality, every time Creality says something about it, that gets brought up. Creality always says, we're using an older version of the firmware that hasn't been fixed yet. And that's every damn iteration of a printer. They're like, it just hasn't been updated yet.
And Keith over here works on making the firmware compatible with the latest Marlin with everything enabled. So they literally could just go yoink from Marlin and add.
Yeah, they could just say, hey, they could just leave it where it says, Keith B in there, and just let this is Keith B, and just leave it. Just leave it in there and just say, hey, Keith, thanks for what you did, because guess what? Your shit's free because you're using Marlin and it's open source, and so are we. Well, and Keith will at least get the credit of knowing that his name's on every Ender that we're buying. I mean,
they're advertising to people that don't know that this stuff exists. The thermal runaway. Okay, that's the biggest problem. When I did my video as the Ender 5 Plus a failure, I didn't know a lot of this stuff that I do now. I mean, it's like I was just looking at 3D printers as a hobby. I had a choice. To me, it was a 3D printer, a CNC machine, or a laser engraver. I looked at the 3D printer as like the best of everything because it's a 3-dimensional object that I could print. And then I could be like, okay, I could do I could throw this in and do a foundry, to make a reverse mold of it and dump some hot aluminum, and make myself some parts if I want to. Casting. So I chose that, and I did not know all of this stuff existed, that you were like left on an island of, okay, how do I use this thing? Oh, there's a firmware update. Oh my God, how the hell do I do that? Well, thermal runaway. What is
thermal runaway?
I want to see more safety features. I'm that guy. I still bug Scott all the time. Like, why isn't there an auto turn off for the heaters after a certain amount of time in Marlin?
You're talking about like when the filament runs out in the bed, like say that the bed should turn off.
Like, let's say you heat the nozzle to insert filament. If you forget to turn off the heater, it just sits there.
Cruises have that.
Well,
Cruises have that.
Yeah, if you use Prusa Slicer and you forget to go in and change the NG code to turn off the bed just sits there on the whole time.
Yeah, because I did it with mine when I replaced my board. I made sure that it was enabled where it would just turn off, and until I said I replaced the filament. So
there just needs to be a timeout. Like if there's no commands being sent, then there needs to be a heater timeout.
Yeah.
But I mean, so I asked the question about for the V2 or the SD whatever, the new printer for I said
the one that with $1.3 million in pledges.
Oh my god. Is that I said, so when the filament runs out, does the bed turn off? They said, oh yeah. I'm like, oh, thanks for ruining my print.
Yeah.
I said, you did that on the freaking Ender 5 Plus. I don't know how many other printers it does that, but that just pissed the hell out of me that it did that. And that was one of the reasons why I actually replaced that damn motherboard in there, was because that pissed me off so much. So
turn the bed off. That's silly.
So,
Hey, you're out of filament. Let's shut off the bed.
Yep.
Yeah. So
you're out of filament.
On Marlin, he'll leave the bed on and turn off the hot end. But when you just change filament, like you go to load or change filament right from the screen, just like it will just sit there afterwards. Like I did that one day and I woke up the next day. I was like, why is there black goo on my bed? And it had melted. The sugars had carbonized and had dripped out of the nozzle as just black carbon water goo. Because there's because I'm so used to a Prusa where, you know, you go to the filament change function, you change the filament. If you walk away, anytime the heater is sitting there for no reason and the printer's not doing any commands, like even when you're, let's say like your printer is paused, there's still a command to keep the bed hot. So it knows not to kill the bed heater.
Yeah.
But it can kill the nozzle heater. And just when I like if I go up here and I preheat my printer and I forget to do anything to it for an hour, it's still in preheat. Like there's nothing in Marlin that goes, oh, I should probably turn this off. And I keep going like, just look at the Prusa code. And unfortunately, Prusa's firmware is so butt ugly on the Mark III that, you know, I've had people look at it and they're just like, I click on things and they don't make sense.
Well, you were the first videos I watched about Marlin. So
nice.
And so I want to thank you for that, because it was, you know, I like had it and I was like just going through it on my own, and you were definitely explaining everything correctly, and
some of it I actually have to change some things I said, because it's been,
so
I'm learning too as I go, and I'm like, ooh.
So can I really say that? My bad.
Well, and then, you know, when I did my video for this one, people were like, I tried Tripod's Garage and it didn't work. I'm like, well, if you would have followed step by step and you saw that I compiled it right there live for you, you would have seen that it worked. So that means you didn't follow something. If not, just go to my GitHub, copy it down, and throw it on your printer.
Yeah, some things get changed so much because like people will download bug fix.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that ruins the world right there. Because like I love that there is a bug fix branch, but it screws me over because I'll be like, I'll compile.
No, the other Chris says he was mentioning that he needed to drop out, so I was just waving at him, so he knew that I saw that he said he was going.
Bye,
so,
Chris Travis.
I'll see you guys
the
in a little
other
bit.
Chris.
Oh
Yes.
I was just saying is you know, I compiled a version of bug fix and they fixed some things recently, and then the next day I was like, oh, they have more patches, so I pushed those patches over to my branch, and then all of a sudden nothing works because they changed some things and
they changed some things that didn't work.
And
with
now
the
it's
things that
broken.
you
It's just
changed.
like, can we have bug fix be like not every 5 seconds? Like bug fix is supposed to be, again, to me it sounds like they fixed bugs.
Yeah.
And they tested it, but there's absolutely no testing in bug fix.
Oh, really?
And then the stable branch is just a copy in time of the most stable version. So yeah, bleeding edge. So Keith and I have had this discussion. He's like, there's nothing I can do. And I'm like, I know, Keith. I'm just venting. And that's my vent. Like, I wish there was a nightly build.
Yeah.
That's like super like untested. Like we know that there's absolutely no testing on this. Bug fix to me feels like there should be the fixes, but there's some like at least a little bit of testing.
Yeah, it's a step before like final release. Like it's not the release. It's kind of like a bug fix is like a release candidate.
Yeah,
and then you've got your.
And I wish it felt like that, but my time with Marlin, bug fix feels like
bug fix is just.
I'm the nightly build of random stuff.
Yeah. Who was that?
And that is the issue. Keith is right. There's so many combos you can't test everything.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what you break.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, it's like I know that Marlin is so like they've got so many different people that work with so many different printers. Like Vert's thing is you know, like Vert does the help me out here. Which printers is Vert again? He uses the G-Tech.
G-Tech.
That's right. Yeah, he does the G-Tech printers. He does a lot with the G-Tech printer stuff. And like I know, like Keith B, he's into kind of everything. If I remember correctly, I've seen Keith's name in a few different Marlin forks there, or a few different Marlin builds.
It has to do with Creality, and he's probably there, or anything from Big Tree Tech.
Yeah,
including their LCD.
Yeah. Well, he didn't patch the firmware. More or less, he's been like making it so everyone can figure out how to compile it and use it correctly, because there was absolutely no documentation. And then all of a sudden, Keith's like, "Look, I made it so you can figure out how to do it." And I'm just like, "Oh my god, I can actually do this now!" Because I was like, I had no idea what I was doing with that TFT firmware. I gotta fix mine.
Oh, for a Big Tree Text one? Which version?
The TFT3, all of the TFT screens.
Oh, okay, yeah, because when I first was doing my video for the 3.5 3.0,
yeah,
it didn't. I'm telling you, I had to flash it like 2 or 3 times sometimes for it to come up.
Yeah.
And it's like it did not take, and it was the same card. And then on the 3rd time I flashed it, all the icons came up. I didn't recopy it. It sometimes just will not take it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
we won't bring it up to Joe Mike though, because he's still having his issues with it.
Well, tell him to watch I got timestamps on my video to watch. So
no, I don't. I don't have that. My issue is that if I leave the SD card in and the printer resets at all, if there's any file on the SD card, it could be a G-code file, it could be a JPEG file, it could be a text file. It'll try to upload it as firmware.
WFO
every time.
What's up?
Every time. And so then I get it. It gets it gets bricked until I actually update the firmware again.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to put the printer on the floor and lay it sideways. And then I want you to straddle the printer. Are you ready?
No.
Yeah, I need to order
I got
an ST
that,
Link.
Keith. I'm going to buy the ST Link.
Yeah, so
and I can't.
Oh.
Yeah, mine's
I don't want to.
Joe's venting.
I think you got a bad one there, Joe.
Because like me, when
I need
I
to
get
know.
something
I
that
need
doesn't
instructions.
work, I let people know. Well, that's another thing. There's no instruction. Like, where is the website to figure out how to use an ST Link to do this stuff? Like,
well, no, I need the what I need from there. I guess. Do I just need to flash?
Here. Just here. I'm gonna send you a link to the video timestamp of mine, and just follow that. So.
Just do it.
I have instructions on how to do it.
Huh?
I have
Tripods got your back.
Tutorial on how to do what? An ST Link?
No, to fix your display. But you're saying though, every time that you put a card in there, it thinks it's firmware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that your display's effed up, man. So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And Keith said that the way to fix it was to use an ST Link to put.
I have to reflash the chip using an ST Link.
Yeah.
Screw that.
And
you should do that.
There's no tutorial for that.
No.
So.
It's like their new Wi-Fi module that they came out with. Oh my god, the instructions are so horrible.
Yeah, I did a video on it.
Yeah, I'm like,
and people ask me questions like, I didn't follow your part here, and now I can't use it. I'm like, yeah, that's why you follow my video step by step. Because
well, I'm talking about the new one. There's the SD one that they just came out with.
I haven't messed with that one.
Oh my god, watching that tutorial, I'm like,
they call it an air card or something like that.
I didn't use that. I said it wasn't out when I did my video. First off, and second of all, I don't know if I was ready to tackle that thing. So, and it doesn't make sense because I guess the bit rate is really slow on it. So
yeah, they all are, like, because it's all using serial.
Wouldn't do me any good anyway, because the dang thing has to be in the SD card slot, and then a reboot, and I'd be screwed again.
Yeah, I mean, mine's behaving fine, so I can tell that.
Yeah, mine is behaving fine, but I wouldn't be able to fix it if it wasn't working fine, and it did take me a while to figure out how, like, its nuances. Like,
well, I've got 3 of them, and 2 of them are working fine.
Yeah. And that is what I like to call the Chinese monopoly, or Chinese
Russian roulette.
Russian roulette. Like, eventually you'll get the bullet, and one of them doesn't work. It could be your first one, or it could be your 50th one. And then
it was my first one. The first one shot me in the face, Chris.
Good night, Brian.
Good night, Brian Vines.
Night, Brian Vines.
Go get naked with the wife.
Yes. Mother's Day is.
The bootloader should only check for the bin.
Yeah, it should.
Okay. Yeah, well, I know that, but am I just needing to reinstall the bootloader? Is that the issue? Is that what I need to do with the ST-Link? Is
basically
reinstall the bootloader?
I haven't tried it yet. Talk to Chris. So I didn't.
Don't talk to me.
I hate screwing with bootloaders.
What Keith needs to do is teach me how to do it so I can make a really bad video on it that people tell me I'm taking too long on. I'm like, and then they'll go out of like, what was I gonna say? They're gonna go out of like order, and then they're gonna be like, oh, I broke it. I'm like, I can't help you. Like,
well, and that's the thing is when you do these in-depth technical videos, it's like it's not working. Just grab the fucking file off my GitHub.
Exactly.
I mean, that's why I did that, so you don't have to worry about doing it. I know you want to tackle it on your own. Great, congratulations, pat on the back, but
bye filament sensor. Woo!
Yeah, actually,
send me all your filament sensors for Prusa if you're not using them.
I was gonna say, I'm
running low.
I keep it in there. I just don't hook it up.
Oh.
I was thinking about doing my own like direct drive setup, but what's a nice, real small filament sensor?
The Prusa one's really small, minus the ball bearing and the.
But you have to use the ball bearing.
It's small. Actually, it's more of weight, okay, because it's going.
It's
on
very light,
okay.
very, very, very light, because it's just an IR sensor, and there's a magnet and a paddle with another magnet, and the magnets push away from each other.
Okay.
And then there's a ball, and then when you stick the filament in, the ball pushes, and it pushes the paddle into the IR sensor, saying, so it uses reverse logic. It's closing the loop, but but it's telling it that there's filament in there. So you change the logic.
It's a standard 3 pin.
My question is, why not just use a freaking switch?
Well,
because a contactless one will last longer. Those switches only last like 1,000 to 10,000 to 1,000,000 presses. And there's also added friction. That ball is basically almost frictionless. So you're not adding resistance.
You still use the ball, but the ball, instead of having to push a paddle into an IR sensor, it just pushes into a switch.
Well, the problem is that there's a constant with it's pushing on it constantly, the filament on that switch too. So
the switch is spring loaded on there, so that's the problem. Is whenever a switch is depressed, it will eventually snap and wear out.
Yeah.
Not the paddle, but actually mechanics inside the switch.
Yeah, because
you just crushed Joe Mike's dreams.
I don't want to go that far. I mean,
crush them, no. Step on them a little bit, maybe.
But that's why they use IR. But they could, I mean, if they're going to use a paddle and a ball or anything like that, they could have just used a simpler IR switch. There's some standard, models out there.
They picked that one that they invented because they added fuses, because they learned from the laser sensor that if something gets hit or knocked, that it could actually combust slightly, because a lot of those cheap ones have absolutely no safety features. It's just there's current running into it, and if they decide to short, they decide to short with some heat. So
yeah, because one thing I'm not liking is like these bigger printers like mine, the under 5 plus, is that the gantry is okay for what's on there.
Yeah,
it's just that hot end. But if I want to do I've seen these people that are just putting these massive things on 2020.
Yeah,
not that rigid anymore. And they're using the same 3 rollers. If you do it on a linear rail or something.
Yeah, and that's where linear rails come in. Creality has really made a nice product, but once you start trying to mod it too far, a lot of people don't understand the changes, the kinematics that are now being done. Like, Railcore is really big onto this very balanced extruder, but they balanced it by making it really tall, which again is counterintuitive because now all the weight's at the top. So here's your bare frickin' linear rail. No, not attached to anything, just bare linear rail. And your hot end's below the rail, and then there's a big section, and then there's a motor and the extruder gears above it. So we reduced the axial torque by moving the weight over the back, so that way it doesn't bend the rail this way. But now it's top heavy. It does.
Yeah, the reason why their prints are looking. I see all these awful prints. I'm like, and then I see this big massive thing on here.
The awful prints in the Railcore is it's not meant for the person who just bought an Ender to buy a Railcore to make.
Oh heck no! That's
I wouldn't even recommend it to most people who own a Prusa, because building one Mark III does not make you an expert in building a 3D printer. I don't even recommend Bear to most people, because I'm like, I feel that this person is just going to mess up even putting these simple extrusions together. Like, I'd be like, get a
Bear
Zerbo.
would make somebody eligible for building a Railcore.
If you can do it without reading the directions for a while, yeah, I would say you should do a Railcore, because eventually Bears are they're so easy to put together once you've done it twice.
Right. I just think that if these bigger volume printers like mine, is that you're relying on the 2020 extrusion with 3 rollers with this big mass on it, and you expect to have better quality prints, is you're fooling yourself.
Well, you have to understand, most people printing Corelli aren't printing faster than 30 to 60 millimeters. Oh, they say they're printing faster.
Oh yeah,
because they'll be like, I've set my printer to 100. I'm like, that you can't print that Benchy at 100 on your Corelli printer. Calm your nerd.
Like this. Here's your Ender 3. Here's your Prusa. Here's your Bear. Here's your Railcore.
Yeah, you have to have a level of experience before you jump the like.
and 3 million millimeters a second.
And you know what? The build time follows suit with all of those.
Yeah,
that's
true.
The build time on the
I'm
Railcore,
really liking the Zerbo printers, because
days.
They're actually easier to build in some ways than a Bear, because they're pre-notched in the holes. So you just screw them in. Like, the extrusion's already cut and pre-drilled. So you just mount it all together. There's no need to measure or stuff. But then there leaves some build issues. I'll see once I get mine. They should be shipping now that the powder coating is done on the new carriages. Because I'm going to have 10 millimeter rails on every axis. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because that was the thing that I got. Was like, why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you do direct drive? Why aren't you doing that? I'm like, because I have to redesign the whole gantry. Because I'm not going to.
What's up, Bob?
Bob is in. I'm sorry. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to redesign the gantry to my own specs. So
yeah. Yeah, there's a few really good. Like, there's Kyle. He has it. He has the Ender 5 Core XY build.
Yeah,
that makes sense, because now you can put something heavier on it. It's got linear rail mounted onto the 2020 extrusion. You've got linear rails on all sides. You've got the Core XY kinematics, which just lighten the load. Yeah. Because again, Ender 5 is just a Cartesian with a bed that moves downward instead of the gantry moving upward.
Yeah, and actually Q3D just said that they're almost done with the Ender 5 Plus.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to offer it to me to do, because I was the first one to do a video on their Cheetah Marlin. So I'm hoping that they'll say, "Hey, Tripod, you want to do it?" But that's an expensive build, man. Did you see the one that Teaching Tech did? How long it took them to build that?
No.
For the Ender 3?
I haven't, no.
Oh, the Core XY out of the Ender 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Why take a Cartesian, an actual Cartesian that's not a box, and turn it into Core XY? It's like
the way they do it is, I think, I mean, for what you spend for the kit's what, $380?
Yeah.
It's like you could just buy a damn frame and then turn around and just transfer the parts, flash the board, and be done for less. But
Ender 3, there was like,
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, when he was done, I think his name is Michael on Teaching Tech, right?
Yeah, it's
Mike.
Yeah, and he showed what parts there were remaining of the Ender 3 that he used. It was like $60 worth of parts.
Yeah.
It was like
$50 for you and me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the hotbed, the power supply, the board, and a few rails, and that was it. So it's I mean,
it really wasn't worth it.
No.
I mean, for what that kit is, it's not worth the amount of money.
I'm really excited for the new Core XY from
shit, what's that company?
Kratos or
on my other computer. I have one that's
I always forget their name. They're really smart people.
Isn't the XL going to be Core XY?
It is.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it because of some of the things I know about it. Like, there are things that a lot of people ignored, like Railcore uses 6mm belts. You really want, wider belts when you're making a Core XY.
10 mil?
Yeah.
Oh God, the Boron V0.
How about 3D Fused?
Yeah, 3D Fused. That's the guys. They're making the new Core XY printer, but it's a build your own kit. Like, okay, you want this build volume, or this build volume. So they've got beds for each volume. They've got frames for each volume. You want a direct drive? We've got this. You want a Bowden? We've got this. You want cheap linear rails or expensive linear rails? So it's basically like a Build-A-Bear for Railcore.
I like that the
Build-A-Core
with what I feel is a better frame. Like I'm still not a fan of the 2020 or the 1515.
Oh, I don't
slot.
Yeah,
with the or 10. I can't remember. It's really tiny. Like, I get it. It's stable once you add the side panels on, and it's perfectly fine. But I feel for the same price, we could have done 2020 V slot and made connections easier. Like, so I'm still.
I just thinking that I buy everything on my own for the channel, so it's like I'm just like that's gonna be way out of my price.
I've so wanted to buy a Railcore, but every time I finally have money in the bank, like I had money in the bank for when the Railcore, like I think like a couple months after the Railcore came out, I was like, okay, I've got the money for it. Then something came up, like I had to buy some new camera stuff, and I was like, okay, well, the fun money's got to go. And then I had it again, and then my dog was sick, so dumped some money. I'm like, sorry, Railcore's not important compared to doggy.
Yep.
This is before Kona. And then it always something came up, and like now it's like I had money, and then Corona came by. I was like, okay, we're just gonna not even think about Railcore. Let's find something else. It's not meant to be. Unless Dave's like, here, write me a review on this Railcore I'm selling. I don't think there's ever gonna be a Railcore in my house.
No, and that's why I think with the 3D Fuse, this is just once I saw the demo that they put out there, I was like, or the picture. It was only a picture, right?
Yeah, they did a video of the kinematics too, which is really nice.
Yeah. I was like, holy crap, that thing's fast. But I was like, after seeing that, I'm like, there's just no way that I'm gonna be able to afford that, So
yeah,
I budget my videos, and the budget has gone down since this little incident around.
So.
Human malware.
Yeah,
human malware.
Yeah. It's not a cheap printer, I will say that. But it is a fun platform to play with.
Yeah, Core XY is in my future. Like
it's
just finding the right one.
Yeah, so part of 3D printing is more of the playing than it is the doing something productive.
Well, the only problem I have, which actually Kirsty brought up with Chris about why he doesn't have one yet, is because of all the belts and stuff. Points of failures are pretty high. So, the tensioning has to be all perfect all the time. So, and when the Ender 5 Plus I have it has 3 belts, but these are really long belts going around there. So,
it's actually 2 belts on a normal Core XY. It's 2 belts.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they are long belts.
They are long.
They are long belts. People have changed them up, and they've switched them over to 10. So it's not too bad, but it is some work.
Oh man.
1K into crowdsource and share it. What is it?
I'll put a 1,000. We can crowdsource and oh yeah.
We'll I'll give you $5 towards it, Chris.
Yeah, there we go. So. Yeah, that'd be actually pretty fun to for me. Like I've always wanted to, I'm working on a Cartesian, open source Cartesian, and it'd be really fun to do because that was a fun the coolest part of Railcore was a bunch of smart people went together. We can make the original Railcore better. And they good night, Joe Mike.
Yeah, Joe Mike.
There we go.
They banded together and made a platform. And that's awesome. I wish it was another one. Can we make one that's not so expensive? And also improve some things. Can we please not have the just linear rail not attached to anything? That's my one major gripe. I could live with everything else. That thing I can't live with. Because linear rails are not meant to be not attached to something. Like, unless you really pay good money for one that's guaranteed flat and true, which I guarantee those Ziltech ones that they were using were not flat and true. So when I see a lot of people have issues with their rail core, I'm like, that guy just got a funky rail, and you can't tell because they're probably not taking the rail and putting it on a flat surface, going, wow, it's wobbling. Because like even my LDO ones, like there's wobble. Because again, no one's guaranteeing flatness because again, they were like, hey, this has to be attached to something.
Yeah, because how many mounts are on there? Like 10?
There's more than 10. It's one every, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 for this length. It's only 331 millimeters long.
They're at least expecting you to mount it every other hole.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's typical. It's like every other hole, or, because again, an extrusion isn't flat either. So like when you buy your 2020 V slot or T slot, it's not flat.
When I bought all the 4040 off of used on eBay, and I was building my a bench on or working, this. I don't know. I built a stand out of it.
Nice, yeah.
Okay, and I put it on YouTube, building it. Okay, and then they're like, "What a waste of extruded aluminum." I said, "No, it's used. It was something that was torn apart. That was it was a frame of something. I did not expect any of it to be true. Otherwise, I would have built it like a CNC machine out of it. I mean, I got it cheap, and it was going to be a workbench.
Yeah.
And it was, oh my god! I spent like one of my whole videos just cleaning this shit. How bad it was. So
yeah, a lot of people don't understand that V slot and T slot is like pasta.
Yeah.
It's pushed out of a hole. It's not milled to spec. You can buy some that's milled to spec.
Oh yeah, you want to pay for it?
No. Nope.
Fuck no.
That'll make me cringe.
Of course, there's going to be a regular gray color in Jesse. Just give Dave time. Dave will be like into the 60 color realm pretty soon, and he'll have like 6 extrusion lines and no sleep still.
By June, I'm going to be at 36 colors.
Nice.
Yeah.
Squidward's on my little my mini system there. When fidelity was a thing back in the 90s.
Oh
Instead of a little Bluetooth speaker that everyone uses now.
Saw somebody getting a drink of Mountain Dew and realized that was parched. And
remember I told you that? That's all I have in the house for my. You guys were having root beer floats, and I said I only have Mountain Dew floats. So
yeah, well, I was eating the coffee ice cream because they were all having the root beer floats, and I had to have my coffee ice cream.
You're a coffee ice cream. God, Doc Ock is so much bigger than the Flash.
Yeah, well,
that's
size. It's not always about size. Ooh, look at that. That's the industrial runoff, right?
It is the industrial runoff.
Yeah.
Green slime is not as yellow.
I haven't brought these up to print any figures yet. I mean, I've been trying to learn Fusion 360 and design some of my own parts. That's why I actually got the 3D printer.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, well, why don't I just print something like that while I'm waiting to mess around? Because for the side by side, right there, I want to when I got the printer, I was like, okay, I'm going to I want to make speaker cases out of ABS, and then customize so it fits right there in the corners, and then put some additional brake lights that are down here, right there. I want to mount them up there too, because when you're driving down the trails, a lot of times people only will see the top of your rig. So it's like, okay, that's what I really got the printer for, was to start, working with my workflow a little bit.
Mine was to print D&D stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, none of this will fit on a D&D board. Unless I print a giant D&D board, like, all right, you're Doc Ock, face off against Raphael.
Oh, then you have to have the price there. You gotta make everything cool.
Yeah, everything to scale.
I got into 3D printing just because
to get away from the kids.
My ADD said I needed to do something different.
God, I have such bad ADD.
My ADD said I had to do something different because, like, the wife was getting mad at me because of I buying Second Amendment items were taking me away from the house, and something about 3D printing just kind of fascinated me. The idea of taking like a spool of filament and turning it into anything I wanted it to be, and that was kind of I was like, and then I realized the price of 3D printers wasn't $6,000 anymore. And I was like, And I did the same stupid thing that every guy does when he first looks at 3D printing. He's like, how cheap are they?
Yeah.
Like, how cheap can I really go? And then you start looking at the A-nets and you're like, the A6, the A8. And
A-nets, and I was like, oh my God.
I was looking at the A-nets and I was like, all right, the A-net, A8, and the A6. And I was like, all right, well, these are $150. I was like, all right, well, it's not bad. And then I just happened to catch somebody's video, I don't know who it was, about the Ender 3. And I was like, all right, Ender 3, interesting. It's all metal, doesn't use threaded rod. Let's take a look a little bit more into these. And I started looking, I'm like, shit, it's only like $50 more. I'm like, I spent $50 more and I can get an Ender 3. And then it just happened to be at the time, I was like, the Pro. The hell's the difference between the regular and the Pro? So I started watching videos between the Ender 3 and the Ender 3 Pro. And I was like, so for the difference, I was like, for the difference, I get a little bit more yet. And I was like, I looked at my wife and I said, hey, so I know this one's like 150 I showed you. I said, but this one's another $100 more, but you get all this extra stuff and it's metal frame. And, and she's like,
set
whatever.
my house on fire.
Yeah. She goes, whatever, you do what you got to do. And I was like, okay, ordered it.
I'm getting 2.
Yes.
You've got the Red Bull out.
I did get 2.
We do leases at my company, and they were returning a maker one, and I'm like, no one used it. And it was just sitting there, and I'm like, oh man, and, I was just, I wasn't really even interested. I was like, man, I would have taken that home, and yeah,
like pass it down.
At least the price was only $500, so I was like. But they weren't giving things to employees. So I was like, then last year, I was just on like Facebook Marketplace and someone was selling an Ender 3. And I was like, I didn't even know that these printers got this small. I thought they were all encased.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, this is a 3D printer? And that's when I started, I haven't bought anything for myself in over 6 years. And
yes.
And
we all do.
And I was like, okay, this is. And I started shopping around. I was like, oh, okay. So, and then that's where I heard Paul loves his A-net, and Marcus guys Ender 3 from work and is rocking it. So, and I was like, okay, well, which one do I want? And I was like, I really want a big one. And then
size 4.
Yeah. And then actually. Crowley just announced the Ender 5 Plus. I'm like, that's it. That's the printer I want. And I told the wife the price. She's like, buy it. I'm like, so.
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah.
You're the best.
Yeah.
You're the best mama ever.
I won't marry anybody else.
Wait till she finds out about the foundry I'm going to build.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I'll be collecting cans from all around the neighborhood.
Hey guys, do me a favor. Don't scrap your cans. Just bring them on down here. And if they pay,
why is John stealing all the aluminum fence poles?
I've done the backyard foundry. It's fun.
It is. I mean, it's I'm honestly, it doesn't take much. It's just you can start out with one of the old coffee cans and line it up with concrete, basically, and you just shoot it in with propane. It's amazing how hot.
Your most expensive cost is going to be the muffin pans.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Muffin Man.
Yeah,
the Muffin Man.
Yeah, you gotta make the ingots. It just helps with help. And the thing is your on the top. I'm losing my mind. The slag. So
yeah. All I know is I bought a Monoprice Maker Select Plus, and I tweaked the shit out of that thing. That thing printed like a champ, but I hated the bed. And I always eyed a Prusa. Like, you know, it was like, oh man, best printers are Prusa. Like all the videos, like Joel and Tom and Angus, Prusa's the best, and S3D is the best. That was all I heard. So it took like 6 months for me to go from that printer to a Mark II that I bought used, a Mark IIs that I bought used, and S3D.
Well, the thing is with the Prusa printers, they always felt like they were just thrown together by looks, and I didn't understand why they were the best. You know, it just felt like it was empty. When you look at it as a customer, and you see other ones, and the same, if you put it next to each other,
yeah,
the Prusa to me never stood out from a customer look.
Yeah.
Okay, it's you got plastic parts that are holding. You can see the back of the board. Nothing's encased really, or and then it's like then you hear about the research and everything. Then you hear why they're really good. So, and everyone that runs them, you know, it's like, what do you have, John? I have a Creality. Well, you should have gotten a Prusa. So,
yeah, there's a lot of that. There's like, you don't have Prusa?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I
don't have a rail core?
That's it.
So you don't have a rail core? Get out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh shit, we all of us got to leave but Dave. Dave, you're in charge.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
The cool kid rail core club is Dave.
Yeah.
Joe already left.
And Mr. Lightspeed when he shows up.
He's not going to be on my stream.
My printer history goes all the way back to my very first one was the Cupcake 3D printer.
Did it make cupcakes?
Well, no, it was called a Cupcake, and because it was it had the build volume of about a cupcake.
Oh.
And that's kind of what the first 3D printers I saw. They were so tiny. I mean, it was like, so my next purchase, the wife's like, "Why did you buy that?" Does anyone have a drone?
I did. I had a Phantom.
Oh, those were awesome. I mean, they still are. They're still a pretty good class-leading drone, even to today's specs. They are. They're just big. So, yeah. So I purchased the Maverick Mini. So.
Oh, nice. See, if that was how it was when I was into it, I might have kept mine. But my issue was I could never use it enough because I don't really shoot video. I just bought it because I thought I could do video, do these cool photos, like overhead shots during weddings and stuff. And then if you don't practice flying drones, it's not like riding a bicycle. It feels so foreign every time. Like I'd play with it, get really good with it, and then the next wedding where I would use it, I was like starting over again sometimes. I'm like, I don't remember, like flying is weird and I'd hit stuff. I'm like, I just can't. This isn't like a video game. This isn't what I imagined. Like I imagined it'd be like playing a video game, but like when you turn the thing and it's facing you, you have to realize the controls are backwards. Like
I mean, I have all these RC cars up there.
Yeah.
So I mean, I used to race them. All these cars, people are like, I mean, they're vintage. Like the ones that red one, Cloudbuster, it was back in 1988. I think that's when I got it. The white one up there in the 80s. Yeah, so it's I beat the shit out of those cars, man. That red one was in my attic. I took it out. The tires are actually, it looks great from here, but if I take it down, the tires are separated and the servo wires are disintegrated.
Normal.
So, yeah, I mean,
must be an ANET.
Yeah. Because the attic got so humid, it literally disintegrated the wiring up there. So I'm like, it was trash to begin with. So, but yeah, and I was like, well, RC, yeah, it's definitely when you're racing, and it's like the reverse control. It's like, okay, now you seamlessly have to go when it's facing you to. It becomes natural, but again, like you said, if you don't practice it, you're like, what the fuck? Why? Oh, I went the wrong way. And then that's an expensive wrong way.
Yeah.
At least with the RC car, if you go the wrong way, usually it's you jump a curb, you survive another day. But
yeah, for me, it was always like, especially with drones, like when you're doing shots and the camera's straight down, knowing where your position was always so difficult for me. I was like, all right, Kale, I got this overhead shot. And I'm like, I'm going to go left. and it's going completely. It would always take me a minute or two to realize like what direction I'm actually facing.
And RC just said about he flew helis. I have a helicopter that I just never flown because he has some skills. Okay, the RC helicopters with just a regular gyro in there was such a fucking pain in the ass to learn. And you would have on the runs on the bottom, the skis, I guess you call them. I can't remember, RC, correct me if I'm wrong, but you would have the training skis out on there with the just wires, like you want them like 4 times as long. So, you wouldn't ruin your prop. And then a lot of the cheaper ones don't have the rotor in the back thanks. So mine was a fixed rotor, so it's just upside down. Oh my God. Upside down. Yeah. Anyone that can fly one upside down, that's some skills right there for RC helicopter. So
I can't even drive my car upside down.
But yeah,
unless I drink too much.
So the back, if a lot of them are fixed, but if you have the ones that turn where the rear prop, that gives you even a lot more control over them. And mine doesn't even have that, so it's only like a $300 one, but it's a lipo. But I just knew I'd crash it right off the bat. I tried simulators. I'm like, no, forget it.
Yeah.
So,
I wish I took the simulators more seriously when I had a drone.
Yeah, Chris. Side note: here's an interesting little tidbit I'm seeing. The Earlville Drive-In, good old the 34 Drive-In.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot, Tripod. You're from the general area or know the area, don't you?
Well, yeah. Are you both from Rockford? Or
no, I'm
from
south. I'm an hour and a half south.
Oh,
I'm
so
from the Sal Peru area, if you know where that's at.
So
Starved Rock.
Okay.
Starved Rock. I'm about 20 minutes from Starved Rock, where I'm at.
Yeah, I used to camp there, even though we have campers and 4-wheelers. So
okay. Yeah, but the good old Earlville Drive-In is going to be reopening the 15th, 16th, and 17th, and the 22nd through the 25th. They're going to be doing Onward and Spies in Disguise will be the movie they're playing for those 2 weekends, or the movies. So the drive-in will be reopening.
Yeah, there's a couple of really good drive-ins. We used to have 2 in Rockford. We had when I was a really young kid. Actually, it's funny. It's just the street down from me over here. I would be 2 blocks from it today. We had the drive-in that only did nude stuff late at night.
Awesome.
Which is hilarious to have it, because it was the side I'm on was almost completely undeveloped. Like it had the one hotel in the area and then the drive-in. Now it's a bus stop. And then we had another drive-in, the Starlight, and that was on the south side of town. I used to break in there all the time after it was abandoned to go do photo shoots and stuff because it was really cool.
Well, so my daughter just asked. She's 16. You got a 16-year-old daughter and a almost 21-year-old, and they were like the 16-year-olds that asked if she could go out on a date with a guy to a drive-in. I'm like, no. She's like, that doesn't happen. And I actually trust the younger one more than the older. But yeah, it's like, no. I said, how about I sit in the back seat and ask for more popcorn?
Yeah.
Oh, and thank you. You said a variable pitch rotor. Thank you. I'm not an RC helicopter person. I wanted to get into it so bad, and it's not like the drones of today. I mean, it took some mad skills and practice to get.
Yeah, we have a model airplane and helicopter field in town.
Yeah, there's one in Buffy Woods too. That they had a landing strip over there.
They have a dual landing strip and its own just gigantic field.
Yeah, Matheson Park, which is right up the road from Starved Rock Park.
That's where I go all the time to take my naked lady photos.
Yeah, Matheson Park Matheson Park too. Is the problem is now because Starved Rock got so big, everybody goes to Matheson now though. Like last summer when we went to go, because that's what we used to do. Because my wife and I would take the kids and go to Matheson because there was nobody. It was just the locals there. So you could go walk Matheson, you could go play in the water, have fun, hit the water. Like you go to the one waterfall, you could go up behind it there.
Yeah.
You know, the big bridge, when you first come down the stairs and you go across the bridge, you look to the left, there's that huge waterfall. Like you could go down under there and like slide down into the water and play and have fun. And now you go there, and we couldn't park. We had to park. We went all the way around to the what they call that one, the river entrance or whatever, or the lake entrance or whatever the hell they call the second one, up the road a little ways. We had to go in down there and park. And by the time you get into the trails, you're taking the long way back around into kind of like where the main area would be. And it was just ridiculous. I mean, people were parked all the way along that narrow road that leads down in.
Yeah, by the golf course.
Area. Yeah, that narrow little, or no, not the golf course. That's
the entrance
the
I
lake
used.
Okay, yeah. So you always go back in by the lake back there.
Yeah,
Okay,
because the waterfall's like right there.
Yeah,
the small one.
Yeah, the small waterfall's right there, and you got that. I mean, the lake is like right there as well, so it works out good for you.
Yeah, so you've seen where this was taken.
Yeah, there's just not that many places for a good drone. Oh, hello.
Nice. I know where that's at.
Yeah.
No, that's Star Rock.
Yeah, that's Star Rock.
That's
no,
Star
it's
Rock,
Matheson.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, say no. That's Matheson. Yeah.
Yep, that's the Matheson fall.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say there was nothing in Illinois, but now there is.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the pain is just the fact that like the parks like down here have become so overrun because it's 2 hours from the city. So everybody from Chicago and their families are coming down. They're going to Grand Bear, staying in the lodge. And then all they do is they go and they're all over the trails. There's nothing you can do. As a local anymore, there's really nothing we can do because that used to be, like I said, it used to be Starved Rock was great. Then they started commercializing it. They started putting all the decking in everywhere, and all the trails are gone now. It's just it's like walking out your front door and walking down on a deck for a large majority of the trails anymore.
Yeah, fulfillment's in your Prusso right now. The green, Chris is asking.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, fix my cert. Yeah. The green is filament 1 green ice.
I never print anything.
Yeah, this one is also at the same spot.
Hey, this is Chris's spot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good place to take photos.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. Yeah. I'm a photographer.
Yeah. It looks.
That was art. That's art, man.
It is.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Depends on how alone you are, right?
Yeah, and
it depends on how many bus loads of kids show up while you're shooting, which is always my issue whenever I go to Matheson because it seems like all the buses end up there.
Yeah, because
and then
the locals
you're just like screwed.
You're right. You drones do practically.
Show me how to fix it, and I'll do it. Because I know that's from that hack that happened a long time ago that destroyed a whole bunch of WordPress sites.
Well, I tried doing WordPress, and I actually had an online hobby store for a little bit, and I'm like, I just fucking got hacked like every month. And I'm like, I don't have time for this, man. It was just like I wasn't Red Cat. I was selling Red Cat Racing. This is my only 8 scale. Oh, let me see there. Up there. It's a brushless one, and so I bought that as my demo unit to showcase their products. And every month, man, my little site was hacked. I actually built that site from the ground up, e-commerce, in 1 month, and then I'm like, really, out of all the billions of sites out there, you're gonna attack my little site every time?
Yeah, that's why I always bought WordFence, which is like the best WordPress site safety thing. Like you could just be like, I want to ban anyone from Russia or anyone from, because I'm like, I'm not selling any product to you. Like, so you can just be like by country, just ban complete countries. And it has an adaptive like AI that like it reads all WordPress sites. And if it notices a certain country is hitting like trying to legally come in from that country, it just blocks it automatically for you, and it'll just send you an email like, hey, by the way, there's an uptick in attacks from here, and we've shut off any access to your site from this. And it also allowed only it unlocked a crazy 2-step authorization that was like ahead of its time back then. Like, this has been around for like 10 years. It was where it would text you the PIN on your cell phone, so you would log in with your credentials with the actual password you have for your thing, and then it would send you to a new page, and it would then send you a text message with your authorization code to then let you in to know that it was you. So,
and you know what's been really scary is I've been getting these sextortion.
Oh gosh.
Ones lately for like, okay, so I was driving and I was at a stoplight, and then I see an old password just right there on the subject line of one of mine. I'm like, what the F is this? I mean, I know it's an old variant because I haven't used that one in a long time.
Yeah.
And none of them match with that one anymore.
Yeah.
And we caught you we activated your webcam, blah, blah, blah. And because you were on porn, we got you whacking off. And all. I'm like, okay, first off, I use my phone for porn. I don't use my computer. Yeah. So I already know this is extortion. So, and why would I be aiming it towards my penis? But anyways,
yeah.
So I'm like, but
this video is so hot.
Yeah.
Wow, I came back at the wrong time.
But I'm like, it's just amazing that they were, so, I call Comcast, and I'm like, I already know. All my stuff is MFA'd. So, like we're talking about with your PIN, your phone. So, and I'm like, where was the leak? That's where I want to know.
Yeah.
And I believe that leak was on Comcast because I remember that password. And there was actually 2. They actually captured 2 of my passwords. But it wasn't with the variants of special characters. So, and it's
good luck getting mine.
Yeah, mine are now super complicated. But this was, these passwords were at least 10 years older. So, but it's like, and they're like linking it to a Bitcoin account, and I'm like, usually I will troll back like the fake Amazon ones or from your bank one, or you're not your bank one, but you're a bank that I don't use. I'm like, my God, how do I get my, but I know if I troll them back, you're like caught in a loop with them because they're like, oh, I got your attention. So,
yeah, I never, the only reply I do to scammers is I have robocaller on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone like spoofs a number or calls me like trying to sell me like car insurance or whatever,
your car warranty,
your car warranty is expiring, it'll pick up and talk to the people for me, and it has AI, so as people talk, it'll go to the next sentence. Like I think I sent one to Dave where someone tried to call and sell me something, and it was like, one of them's called like paranormal activity, and they'll be like, hello, and they'll be like, is this so and so? And then all of a sudden, like, yeah, hold on. And then you hear crash. Like, did you hear that? And they're like, what do you mean? I heard something. And then like I'll start a dialogue with them for like a minute until they hang up. So
yeah, what I used to do before all that came in for any of these calls for insurance or whatever.
Yeah,
I would hand the phone to my daughter and say, "Grandma's on the phone." And she was like 1.5 or 2. Grandma.
Yeah, my whole thing was I always wanted to just hand the phone to a Lulu, my lovely little chatty kid. I always want to hand the phone to her and just be like, talk to him.
Yep. Yeah, so RC was getting those too.
But yes.
Yeah, I mean.
By the way, hi Barry. Nice to see you, sir. I didn't
thanks.
see you. I knew you were there. I'm about to drop out of this thing and head to bed.
Oh, I'm heading to bed too.
Yeah,
probably it's 11:30.
Yeah,
Dave has already been to bed like 16 times on stream.
Oh, I know.
Hey, David, I got you bookmarked. I'll be ordering some filament from you. So.
Yeah, and Chris over there looks really tired.
Yeah.
He hasn't said a word all show.
He's ready to go to Chris's face.
Chris is just like, you know what? I'm only here to look good.
Yeah. He makes the other Chris look better, so that's good.
Bear Chris.
Yeah. Bear Otron, what up?
Yeah, Bear. There you go. You sent me the thing for my Twitter, and I didn't even do it until you I was like, then I checked my phone after you said you already sent me the link. I'm like, what's that? So I'll just give you my email. It's the fastest way to get a hold of me.
Gotcha.
And the Twitter sometimes just doesn't come through on my phone.
I have mine turned off because you'll post one thing and then every like is another freaking.
Oh my god! And it drove me nuts last night when I was on there. I'm like, who the fuck am I even replying to? It's like, like Dan.
We all have our fake names.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like typing it. I'm like, oh wait. And I look at, oh wait, it's at this. I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, we like to mess with everybody. What can we say?
Yeah, it was like that. I was just in a really pissy mood last night when Big Free Text sent that, and I was like, "You're assholes."
Oh, sorry, we're gonna give it to other people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was kind of a dickish thing to see happen. And instead of making it right by just saying, "Hey, look, you know what? We told you won."
Love 6 testers.
Yeah.
And I had actually no use for the fucking board. The thing is, like, I was like, oh, great. Now I'm going to have to find some piece of shit printer on eBay because of my budget and try to resurrect this board in it. That was my plan. I was telling my wife, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this damn thing. So actually, I got it. And the person that said, oh, man, I guess I have to go buy it, I was going to give it to him.
Yeah.
So, it was just the fact that, whoever the person replies saying, hey, they're not used to this. No, but they're on social media and they're broadcasting shit. That's not the right thing to do.
Yeah, no.
Because it takes one social media from me flagging that, which I did. And then, oh my God, the apologies just kept on. They flew to me. I'm like, no, it's you need to understand this is not a game out here. You woke me up at 4:30 in the fucking morning when it actually worked on my cell phone Twitter, and I filled out your fucking form, and now you tell me, 14 hours later that it's not, whatever it is, 12 hours later that, oh, sorry, So
I blame Dave.
Yeah, I do too. So
Dave should have boards made for him that he can sell.
Dave
them the printed solid boards.
Yeah, the printed solid boards, you can sell them for $100, $200, $300, $400. They'll come with limited support. If you call the number looking for assistance, you're just going to get somebody on the other end that doesn't speak English. And when you send an email, you might get a response in 6 to 8 months.
Oh, okay. So this is the type of support I'm expecting from my first world tournament.
Yes. Normally, if you need a response, they're like 5 seconds later, you'll get an email back, and you're like, "What is this nonsense? Who are these people? Are they awake?" That's weird.
I can honestly say I've never had a problem so far. The only problems I've had have been user error when it comes to using the filament. It's always been my mistake. Like right now tonight, I swapped this out because I'm a dumbass. I'm going to attempt to convert this one to direct drive. So I swapped out the brackets so I could put the motor in later. And I moved my BL Touch, and in moving my BL Touch, I haven't configured the firmware for the new placement of the
offset of it.
Yeah, I haven't done the offsets. So I'm trying to print, and as I'm printing, the offsets are off. So it's going to a spot where it's maybe a little bit lower on the bed and should drop, and it's not dropping in time. So it's getting too much smush in one place and not enough in the other. And it's just enough to kick it up. And then as it comes back around the next time, it pulls it off the bed. And then so that's user error, and I admit that's my bad.
It's nice hearing your first world problems there, Dan.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, I'm sleepy. Going to bed.
Hey, so Airtron, just do tripodsgarage@gmail.com.
Tripodsgarage@gmail.com.
Yeah. So
we'll just have to add you to the Discord.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll just have to join the Discord.
I'm on Discord, so.
You're on the Discord?
Not this one. So just send it to me. I just signed up on Discord just like 2 weeks ago. So.
Yeah, Discord's kind of like the thing. You can join the Discord.
I'll put that on my phone, so now I get that notifications now.
Yeah, Billy's Discord's fun. Like all
Yeah.
we do is we have a meme section, and there's an Animal Crossing section, and there's a bunch of actual 3D printing talk. Like
Yeah.
the entire SKR
Yes.
Bear project is in there.
Yeah.
I would mute sections you don't want. Just like mute everything but the one section where we share the links to things. But good night, Chris.
Yeah,
Good
so
night, Dave. Good night,
send me your
Jesse.
Discord link thing, and I'll join. So
Yep. Good night, Dan. Good
Later,
night, John.
everyone.
John, right? John.
Yep,
Got it. All right. Do your spiels, everyone.
Hasta la nacho. Later days and better lays.
Good night, everyone. Have a good evening. Nothing major to say. Nowhere to find me. I don't exist. I'm a myth.
I'm just Tripod Garage. Google it. And you got a llama dancing on your head, Dan.
Yes, I have an LSD ridden. No, now I got a bear. I got the bear wiggling his butt.
All right, Dave, what do you got? And Jesse.
Good night, everyone. Buy her filament. It's all her fault.
The dog hair filament is coming, right?
It's coming. I gotta figure it out. We'll get that burnt dog hair smelling filament out soon.
I'm excited for that in no way, shape, or form. And then Chris.
Good night, everybody. I'm just like Dan. Nobody, nowhere, not around. Just hanging out here with everybody else.
And I'm Barotron, home of things made of Jesse filament. Good night, and have copious amounts of Mom Day tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes.
Enjoy
Happy
your mother.
mothers out there, and soon to be dads.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Later.